Hello, everybody, and welcome to WWE SmackDown with Michael Paul and me, The Undertaker. Take it away, Mike.
We're back, bitch queens. It's been a while, but listen, um, I might as well just tell you this now. We will not be with you on Monday because even though Papa's House has reached a conclusion for season one, there's still a special Monday American Idol. Um, and we will not be with you Wednesday because of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. But we will be back with you a week from tonight for another edition of SmackDown because, well, I would typically be watching Hollywood Squares at this point. I've seen enough of it to realize that they don't switch up very frequently. They just keep using the same celebrities over and over. So, well, how exciting is that? Exactly. So, with that, um, we're back with you for SmackDown tonight, possibly for Collision tomorrow, depending on when we get back, because we're going to this baseball thing. So it depends on when we get back, whether we come to you with Collision or not. But regardless of whether we do or not, who are you talking to?
That's my grandma.
Oh, anyway, regardless of whether we do or not, we will be back with you a week from tonight for SmackDown. Now, that being said, as I always say, to my girls, and I think I've been very clear as to why that is, why I refer to them that way. No need to rehash that. At any rate, to my girls, Christy, Crystal, Megan, Amanda, Mackenzie, Noah, Caitlin, I love you all so, so much. Thank you for being so wonderful to me. I know that we've had differences at times, but like I always say, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, the present is a gift. And that's where we are going to stay focused, the present. With that, I do have a couple of news items. I may have already mentioned these things, but if I'm repeating, forgive me. My memory isn't the best. Aleister Black and Rusev have returned to WWE over the last couple of weeks. In fact, we'll see Aleister Black on SmackDown tonight, and we'll see. Whether uh, I can't tell whether the bloodline is done or not. Um, but it seems that Paul Heyman is creating this new faction. We'll see what. Um, I don't think they would call it the Dangerous Alliance, which they own the rights to WCW, so they could do that. But at the time of the Dangerous Alliance, he was known as Paul E. Dangerously. They could call it Paul Heyman Incorporated, maybe. I don't know. At any rate, I don't know where we're at tonight, but let's find out along with you as we watch SmackDown together and welcome to this. Oh, possibly at Backlash, Pat McAfee could be facing Gunther. We'll find out more about that tonight also. At any rate, thank you for being with us, and we take you now to Michael Cole and or to Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore for Friday Night SmackDown.
Welcome to Des Moines, Iowa, the capital city of the sports craze state. Tonight it goes for wildly unpredictable.
Des Moines, Iowa. Seth Rollins
Fans are ready for what lies
Yeah,
ahead
but
on
he's not
Friday
there
night
tonight.
as the Piper has been striking since WrestleMania. Yes, Randy Orton is here. He's just 8 days from challenging for the undisputed WWE Championship in St. Louis, but in moments, he's set to deliver a strong message for John Cena. Plus, just when Tiffany Stratton thought she had to overcome her biggest obstacle, we found out how wrong that was. What's the champ's mindset? Now, the Nia Jax is back in destructive form. And last week wasn't so awesome for The Miz. The return of Aleister Black, and The Miz laid out. But there's a hop in The Miz's step tonight. The A-lister has Carmelo Hayes by his side, ready to take on SmackDown.
Oh my God, that's Carmelo.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
Damian
thought
Priest
that
is
was
here.
Travis
His target is the megastar. Priest
And I'm looking at the name of their
with both men hungry
stable
for
for
more after what happened.
Paul Heyman.
Who cares? What's going
Paul
on here?
Heyman guys.
Put yourself there. It's not good for you and your title. Whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome L.A. Knight! Been no wallowing after the WrestleMania loss for LA Knight. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett with you. And Wade, he hasn't wasted any time putting himself right back into the biggest challenges. Last week, that's where he found himself against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, number one contenders match for the US title between those two. Things were going well for the Megastar, but then Solo Sikoa came along, dropped the Megastar with a Samoan spider with McIntyre closing in.
We watched this today.
Showed up, decided he didn't like what was going down, drilled McIntyre with a sound of heaven. Now, LA Knight was disqualified as a result of that, and he then vented his anger onto a human torpedo in the form of Jacob Fatu showed up. The US champ putting all potential challenges for his goal on notice with a typical beatdown. Let me talk to you. One week ago, I stepped right in this ring. Yeah. And I said, I want my rematch for my US Championship. Instead, what did I get? I got told, well, you're going to have a number one contenders match for a US Championship. I would say, if nothing else, I deserved my rematch, but that's okay. I did what I needed to do. I came in and had the match, but let's be honest, it didn't go my way. Now, why is that? Let's do a little bit of math. Why is that? Because right out here, Solo Sikoa decided to bring his pumpkin head looking ass out here. Gives me the spike, feeds me in, and then a little bit later, Jacob Fatu comes out here like this is his own personal jungle gym, bouncing all around. He's dropping moonsaults on everybody. But why was that able to happen? The reason that was able to happen was because the man who I have a match with a little bit later tonight, and that's Damian Priest. Damian Priest, I ain't got no problem with you. You got to understand something. I know what you were doing. I know it had nothing to do with me, but at the same time, my man, you got to pick your
Now, Priest got involved with LA Knight's business a bit last week, and now he hears his name and comes out in front of his crowd here at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines.
Fairness to Damian Priest, he was trying to help the megastar last week. It did cause LA Knight to be disqualified and lose that number one contenders matchup to McIntyre, and understandably unimpressed is LA Knight.
He got that DQ win, number one status.
Knight, you're right. You and I do not have a problem. We're cool, man. And last week, that was all about Drew McIntyre. WrestleMania happened. No excuses. I was good with moving on. But he couldn't keep my name out of his mouth. And then he mentioned my family. I just came out here to shut him up. Dude, look, I get all of that. I've had to chase dudes down, beat them down. I know. You want to knock your name out of his mouth. I get that. But you picked the wrong time. You picked my time, and now I didn't win my number one contendership. If I'm honest, the bell rang because of you. I disagree with you, man. Solo spiked you over there. So all I did was save you from eating a Claymore and getting pinned 1, 2, 3. My man, I don't want to dig too deep here, but I feel like you're living in the past. I feel like you're reliving WrestleMania. Just because you ate a Claymore, just because Drew pinned you and beat you, don't put that on me. You don't have any idea how that was going to come out. I could have called him BFT right here. I'm just saying, don't let your failures be mine. The way I see it, this whole situation is because you lost your championship at WrestleMania. I don't need any reminders, my man. Look, I lost my championship. I get it. I understand that. But guess what? As soon as I lost that championship, I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to come back. I'm going to fight for the thing the very next week. And then I'm not out here right now wrestling for this championship because of you. I can't say it any clearer. This is the deal. All your frustrations, they're your fault. Maybe if your head wasn't up your ass at Mania, you'd still be champion.
I'm sorry to get some juice and you're okay, okay? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some juice.
The whole idea here is we ain't got a problem, right?
Be right back. Uh-huh.
And basically, but a lot of people say that Dave came out, they claim he made a transphobic joke. You can go read the website as far as what the joke is. I don't consider it transphobic. He basically said it was a gun, or it was a knife that I identified as a gun, talking about the attacker. So whatever, but that's not, I don't consider that transphobic. People pissed about it. We did a story about it this weekend. All these different tweets saying, I feel like John Mulaney ambushed us with Dave Chappelle. We didn't get tickets to see Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle kind of continue on with this path. But I mean, people won't publicly support this guy, but quietly they will say Dave got what was coming. And that's the problem with what's going on right now. It is dangerous. Absolutely.
Hi, it's Steph from TMZ Verified the podcast. I'd like to talk to you about something that's become an important part of my life, Noom.com. Most weight loss plans take a one-size-fits-all approach, but that doesn't work for everyone. Noom understands that we all have different needs and lifestyles, and they create personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. For me, Noom has been a game changer. Unlike restrictive diets, it doesn't tell me what I can or can't eat and helps me make smarter choices without guilt. Noom's daily lessons have changed how I think about food. It's not just about cutting calories, but about building healthier habits and routines. Noom takes a science-backed approach to weight loss using psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain and your unique biological factors to achieve weight loss success. First-time users lose an average of 15 pounds in 15 weeks, and 95% say it's a long-term solution. It's helped over 5.2 million people build healthier habits. Why not you? Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. Based on a 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with a minimum starting BMI of 25, individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information.
Okay. Let's move on to Amber Heard, because I got to tell you, this is a story that keeps on giving. You know, it's funny. I was telling some people today that my kind of street, I call them street Nielsen's. This woman I worked with for a long time, CBS was a reporter, Patty Ecker, used to talk about street Nielsen's. And I kind of followed her lead on this, and that's basically just talking to ordinary folks.
So I think
Who are
tonight
necessarily
is
in this world that we live in.
Maya,
And
Rupert, and Ariel, Michael.
or over the weekend, rather. And they, most of them people.
Wait, who?
Maya, the new night staff.
Is Maya?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't answer the question.
She's new.
I said, who the fuck is Maya?
She's our new night staff.
Do I know her?
No. There's Rupert and them now.
I guess I'll meet Maya right now.
They know you.
They know you?
Yeah, I told you when I came for the job, I sat around with them for like 2-3 hours.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. They didn't tell me.
Not bad.
Welcome to take one.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate you a lot.
All right.
That was really cute.
Yeah. I just took
Okay.
Bree did that on your wall?
What does that mean? That was cute. Anyway.
But I'm telling you right now, if you keep talking like that, you ain't got to worry about where the head's up. You're going to worry about me putting my foot up yours. All right. We could do this back and forth for a minute. We can. Our match is later on tonight. Yeah. I don't see why we should wait. I don't see why they should wait. So what are you saying? I'm saying we get a referee down here and we do this right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, I don't want to wait. Do you want to wait?
Hell no!
Let's do it right away. Knight and Priest. It's next.
WWE touches down in 10.
God damn it. Come on. There we go.
And I think tomorrow night's dinner is pizza, Michael.
Tomorrow night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No. He said tomorrow we were going to eat there.
Ate at the game?
Yeah. That's why I was asking, should I have extra money or not? Unless something changed, I don't know.
Let's wait until tomorrow when we see him, okay?
Yeah.
But I think it's
Friday
we're
Night
eating.
SmackDown. LA Knight and
It's our last
Priest
baseball
all of a sudden
game.
are opening match.
Because tomorrow morning we gotta get up at early so we can face Izzy's team, which is the Rays.
Here in Des Moines, Iowa, Joe Tessitore
And yeah.
with you Friday Night SmackDown. LA Knight and Damian Priest all of a sudden are opening match here on SmackDown as these two got heated right away as soon as we came on the air. As LA Knight was questioning why Damian Priest caused a DQ last week, gave Drew McIntyre that's #1 contender status, says Knight was looking for a rematch to re-earn his U.S. championship.
Yeah, both men with the tough talk, both men aggravated by losses at WrestleMania. There's a hell of a lot riding on this match here. You cannot afford to take 2 big L's in a row, and one of these men is going to have to eat that.
Priest slams down Knight. Just the 4th time that they've ever shared the ring, but the first time they've gone one-on-one.
Yeah, the limb length advantage of Damian Priest has really been the story of this one so far. As LA Knight,
Oh, he's trying to go for it as Priest throws him away for a moment and delivers a big kick with all 250-plus pounds coming behind it. And gets the shoulder up.
Well, if you ask me, that was a desperation play from LA Knight, clearly attempting that BFT. He's getting eaten alive by the bigger, more dominant Damian Priest at this point, and the limb length has really completely neutralized the Megastar's offense.
Absolutely. 6'5" is Damian Priest as he's climbing up top, thinking about going old school, but Knight drags him right
That's
down.
why they're doing this now. Because Aleister Black and the Miz is going to be the main
Took
event.
a beat too long climbing the ropes,
That's what I
giving the
was
Megastar that championship
why
caliber
don't you
athlete
build
that he is, a little
and
chance
do
to
it later
recover
for the main
and throw
event?
something back in the
But
opposite direction.
they have Aleister and Miz, then they can't do it.
They should have just saved for the mid-card match.
Well, that's true too.
And Drew McIntyre, then Solo Sikoa came and got involved before Jacob Fatu was cleaning things up, and now these guys going toe-to-toe as Knight starts to take control here.
Damian Priest was just further antagonized.
Oh! The jumping neck breaker by Knight into the cover, hooks the leg, and quickly Priest gets rid of him.
Damian Priest antagonized further by that confrontation, I should say, with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa as he entered the building here. It was like lighting the fuse, and I think the words from LA Knight set Damian Priest off over the edge, and a fight at that point was inevitable.
It was. Big right hand from Priest as he tries to steady himself after the attack. From Knight, who gets him up and slams him down.
Yeah, Priest looks like he's hurting now, still clearly not quite recovered from that Sin City street fight, but catching the Megastar, and this is danger moments for LA Knight here.
Looking for the south of heaven. Instead, Knight able to counter, but then Priest comes roaring back. Left shoulder just barely gets up from Knight.
That's how dangerous Damian Priest is. You see him sucking on oxygen. He's moving a little gingerly. He's clearly in agony, but he's so big, so strong. One shot from Priest will take anyone off their feet. Look at the Megastar now. The wind completely knocked out of him.
Yeah, I just consider what both of these guys have given and taken in recent years. The brutality in recent years.
So after it's making another movie called The Iron Claw.
Was looking for the razors.
The Rock is making a movie called The Iron
It's
Claw.
the Megastar coming back to Priest.
No, Iron Claw's already out.
I think both men could well do with a week off to recover at this point. But coming off the back of losses, you don't want to take a week off. But what other people
Wait a
want?
minute. Is he playing a UFC fighter in this movie?
Wait, you're right. It's the Spirit Bunny Vampire family.
The Megastar
But it's a
looking for the
prequel
win here in Des Moines.
or a sequel to The
And
Iron Claw.
so close.
A major motion picture, an evolution in customer experience, a game-changing approach to
Please be sideways. It's bursting with Baba.
Well, everyone who knows a boom when they see one is going to want to see it.
No, I'm not coming.
The This Is Awesome chant has started here in Des Moines, Iowa. As LA Knight and Damian Priest moments ago, the double clothesline. These guys are giving everything they can. They have been heated after what happened a week ago when LA Knight blamed Damian Priest for the DQ loss that put Drew McIntyre into the number one spot. And now Priest up top.
Rata, Brock Lesnar is not on here anymore due to the.
Wait, who's asking this?
So they're saying Brock Lesnar, and I'm saying Brock doesn't work with
Brock.
us anymore.
Brock?
He'll tell you.
No, he never worked with us, but he worked for WWE, not with us.
Oh, Brock doesn't work with them no more.
Yeah, okay. Let me translate that into English. Brock's contract, Brock signed a 10-year contract from 2014 to 2024. When that contract expired, they would not re-sign him because at the time that the contract expired, Brock, along with Vince and John Laurinaitis, all three of them were being sued for sexual harassment, sexual abuse by this, I believe she was a secretary of some sort for Mr. McMahon. Her name is Janelle Grant. And and Janelle was claiming a very hostile environment because of sexual harassment. And in Brock's case specifically, she was accusing Brock of paying her to create a porn site specifically for him. When that happened, she filed complaints against Brock, Vince, and eventually John Laurinaitis was added into that. Now, the specific charges against John, I don't know, but Brock was accused of paying her to create a porn site for him. So that's why all three of them are going to go to trial. That's why you don't see Brock on TV anymore. They're certainly not going to re-sign him when he has allegations of harassment against him. So that's why you're not seeing Brock Lesnar anymore.
Priest is perhaps turning into desperation, but Priest now showing us all just how deep he can dig.
They said a week ago if you pick the wrong time, high time. Oh! He was looking for the Razor's Edge moments ago! And now he delivers nearly 3/4 across the ring, sending the megastar. Just like the last possible man that left shoulder ding dong.
Let's take another look at this landing high on the neck and shoulders by LA Knight. No way to protect yourself. The back of the head bouncing off the canvas, and this entire arena was convinced this was a 3 count. 2.99, no less than that, but somehow the megastar still ticking.
Wait, can you believe the distance?
It says something that Damian Priest has the raw power to throw a 250-plus pound man in LA Knight across the ring, this deep in the match, Joe.
He's looking for more, but instead of South of Heaven, the megastar trying to find his own rally. No, Priest counters broken arrow.
Priest not going for a cover here. That could be a mistake. Perhaps he's acutely aware that the megastar is not going to go down easy in this one. You have to stack that offense.
Dean Ambrose, also known as John Moxley, not coming back. And
No.
Cody Rhodes, he's still there, but he's on Raw.
I don't think they have specific people on specific shows anymore. They stopped doing that, and they stopped doing drafts when they realized that they were pretty much what the problem. Everybody just goes to every show anyway.
And I do think, looking at the pin that LA Knight executed there, he perhaps over-rotated the shoulders of Damian Priest, allowing Damian Priest an easier kick out. You can't blame him at this point in the match. Exhaustion is the order of the day now for these two men.
This is Stephanie's Places, by the way. This is an episode on ESPN Plus. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. It's a must-watch. That's hype. Send Priest out to the floor.
Find episodes on
Bodies that
YouTube
joints
too.
must feel like jelly at this point, trying to maintain any control. Good luck with that, but Priest moving out the way.
Oh, the flatliner on the apron.
Bouncing forehead first off the hardest part of the ring. Can't pin him out there, obviously. Need to get him back inside and put this one to bed if you want.
What in the world? Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa. The bell rings as this match is over because Solo Sikoa just
talk smack to in this game, especially when you're about to go out and have a match. Talk a little too much trash to Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu on his entrance to the arena a few minutes ago in prison.
But now he's all over the megastar as well, Wade.
I'll take a chunk of flesh out of whoever I can get it if I'm Solo Sikoa. This is statement time.
He's lining up the Samoan spike. Solo Sikoa in the midst of what was a sensational match between Knight and Priest as he's going to deliver the spike to LA Knight. Oh no! Priest, a massive right hand.
Oh, I get it. Now this is going to turn into a tag team match. Either now or what is his name? Nick is going to say, come back later, we'll do this later on tonight.
And look down at Sikoa, who interrupted things. This is come on, what is he doing? He's tearing apart our announce desk. He's clearing it off.
Solo Sikoa's made a major faux pas here. He's about to get a Drew McIntyre treatment.
Jacob Fatu comes out of nowhere.
That human missile once again saving Solo Sikoa.
Okay, Solo and Jacob against Damien and LA Knight.
Hey, Samoan drop onto the desk. Fatu, the U.S. champion, one of the most violent and vicious of all. He is completely off the chain. Oh no! Running hip attack into the barrier. He just moved the thing about 2 feet, and Priest's head just came right into the side.
Well, between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, a major message has just been sent to anybody who may have eyes on that United States Championship of Jacob Fatu. Where Fatu and Solo Sikoa go, carnage will swiftly follow.
Jacob Fatu and his U.S. Championship reign. It just comes with so much terror for anybody close to contention. This man is violent. This man is vicious.
Banger of a match. What should have been our main event was just our opener, and our card is up in the air now, Joe.
Of course, last week the whole world was buzzing with what we had for the main event. The TLC thriller won by the Street Profits, but not to get lost in the tag team division headlines. It was the debut of Fraxia.
What a debut it was. Let's take you back. Fraxia wowing us with speed, except with speed, acceleration, and athletic.
God damn it.
And over to our correspondent, Byron Saxton.
Joe, Wade, thank you guys so much. Right now, standing by with the team that made their successful debut last week here on Friday Night SmackDown. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, otherwise known as Fraxium. And tonight, guys, you have another chance to go out there and show out. But this time, against Pretty Deadly.
We're excited, Byron. You know, in NXT, we flipped the entire tag team division upside down. And on Friday Night SmackDown, we plan on doing the exact same thing. Ain't that right, amigo?
I mean, did you see the TLC match last week? It was bonkers. Right, that's exactly what we're so excited to be here in SmackDown. This is the best tag division in the entire planet.
Oh, on that note, I do have to ask.
Yes, boy, he's coming through. Yes, boy, yes, boy.
What?
Excuse us, Byron.
Those two, the masked guy and the other
It's
guy.
the purple, yes. Get it out of here.
Okay.
And everybody
These
sucks.
two are they British or?
And it's good
I
joy for
think-
being against the best because SmackDown is home of the best and hungriest tag team division.
Nathan Frazier
Tasty debut last week. Very tasty. Don't forget,
is.
the two tastiest snacks are around. But I would admit, I'm enjoying having some extra European blood around SmackDown. It's really nice. It must be nice for you guys, right? It's new, it's exciting, and everybody loves you, and that's great. That's great.
So he's
I'm
British.
suggesting maybe we knock it down 20%.
And what about the
And
guy?
remember that opportunities are hard.
He's from.
And we know how good you guys are, but more importantly, we know how good we are. But wait, just remember, we thought that, but then we were thinking, wait, do we know if they're any good?
Spain.
We're not resting them, but we don't know if they're any good. And sometimes
These two are Australian,
and
right?
we say, can we find out if they are actually any good?
Be careful what you wish for.
Pretty
bros.
deadly.
Oh,
Yeah.
please, be careful. Oh, be careful, won't you? Ooh.
Think so. They're funnier than a $2 bill. I don't mean to gay that or anything, but they are funnier than a $2 bill.
Team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first for the combined weight of
Even just be on ice doesn't have that many teams. You've got a lot of them.
Get Wilson.
They're also from England. Oh.
First official match for Pretty Deadly since we saw them so close to goal in the London backyard. Short against the drop. Really championship match at the O2.
So
now you want to keep the new guys at bay. Pretty Deadly look at maintain their status against
I just noticed that you're getting a lot of responses than we typically get.
And this match is presented
that's true.
by Sonic. Drive in.
The clock is ticking.
Into a dome in LA. What a magnificent spot. It'll be home to Money in the Bank, and you can experience the non-stop excitement of Money in the Bank with On Location, the official fan hospitality partner of WWE. Unrivaled access, the unmatched service, unforgettable experiences. Find your package at onlocationexp.com/WWE. Wade Barrett, look who's here, sitting right behind us. Michael Bisping, former UFC middleweight champion, UFC announcer at 30 wins, and he's in town because UFC Fight Night is in Des Moines tomorrow night. That's one of your guys there, my man.
The Count from Clitheroe, England, one of the toughest Englishmen to ever walk the face of the planet. And talking about tough Englishmen, yes, boys, Pretty Deadly in action right now.
Far more aggressive in the ring version you've seen of them this year. Paid off. Number one contenders match.
We're watching some Michael Bisping fight back.
And their opponents with a total combined weight
Why do they look like that?
165 pounds.
Why do they look like that? It's their animation for their entrance.
Nathan Fraser and Fraxia, the pair that dominated the NFC.
Thank God neither one of us have epilepsy. That looks like
They
something
impressed
that could trigger
everyone last week with their win over Los Garza in a very fast-paced match. You look at the resume, the two-time
Did you say epilepsy?
tag team champions
Yeah.
with a
It said,
distinct
thank
style.
God neither one of us have it, because that looks like something that could trigger a seizure. The way they enter.
Yeah, what
the
an
ring.
acquisition for the Blue Brand by Nick Aldis, picking up Fraxium. Many people call Fraxium the best tag team on planet Earth based on their performances in NXT. I'm not personally ready to quite go there yet, especially after the performances we saw from 3 tag teams in last week's TLC main
only
event. But
person
I will
who
say
has
that Axiom or
epilepsy
Fraxium, are certainly heading in the right direction.
Is our buddy Mackenzie.
Match presented by Sonic Drive-In.
Mm-hmm. And she's kind of private about talking about that.
You see the speed. He stretches it out and then delivers that kick right to the head. Spent time with Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, because I've seen Josh have
Still
seizures.
trying to regroup after what happened at
Do
home
they both?
in London. They put so much
I
into
don't know.
that match.
But it's
Yeah, and it's always
kind of
unnerving when you're
she's
an
kind of private
established team
to
like
talk
Pretty
about
Deadly
that.
is. when a new breakout team hits the scene, you feel
And
like
why do they look like
You
Skittles?
feel like there's a bit of a line forming to get an
Their
opportunity
attires
once
kind of look
again
like
with the
they're
tag
Skittles.
champs.
I don't.
And then a new team
Or probably one of
with
the
a bunch of
Fruit Loops.
hoopla surrounding
I
the turn
know
up, and you feel like you've slipped
Wilson hooks the leg.
one or two places down
But I'm
the
still
line.
happy that they're not getting booed. They're getting cheered. Some of them love them and some of them hate them.
See, Saturday, June 7th, that's going to be special Money in the Bank the same day as Worlds Collide. NXT and WWE's newly acquired Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. What a day that's going to be in LA in early June.
It must be very well controlled because I've never seen her have one. I've seen Josh have a few, but
Talk
I've
about
never
the
seen
speed,
her
the pace, the athleticism of Fraxium, but sometimes there's no matching the power advantage at PD. Although the quickness and maneuverability there was telling for Fraxium.
TBT. And now all four men in the ring. And look at the pace that they pick up here as Axiom comes in.
PD have never faced anything quite like these two, and they simply have no defense for it.
It's the dive train, time and again. To the outside, right to the barrier goes Prince. And Kit Wilson on the other side. Fraxium in control.
Kit Wilson almost taking a dip into our front row there. And it is this UK-Spanish alliance of Fraxium that now has full control over the English boys.
Nathan Frazier is so fast. A former star soccer player, had a college scholarship. Tennessee Wesleyan, played 4 years of NCAA soccer. While he was doing that, he was training for pro wrestling on the side. He was on the indie circuit, side by side. In fact, here in Iowa at Seth Rollins' Black and Brave Wrestling Academy in Davenport.
You can see the fingerprints of Seth freaking
wrestling.
Rollins all over Nathan
Yeah.
Fraser, who is just a blur when you watch him in that ring. And it's really Axiom who's more the cold-blooded technician of the two. Holy no slouch inside. Once again, that power game of Elton Prince is telling that.
He catches him off the cross-body attempt and now throws him down onto the feet of Kit Wilson. And the clothesline from L.
I can tell when someone's lying. It's kind of a thing I do. So, who are you? I am solicited.
God damn it.
To restore and be that solution in the time of need. Chase for Business is literally what it says in the name. It is Chase for Business, where I can find everything I need in one place, so we can help people get back to life.
La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer. Double action for double repair.
We don't
and
care about
healthy
being
skin.
moist. What do we care about moist? You're
That's
moist.
okay with your friends in the valley.
You have carrot energy, and I'm done with it.
As suburbia turns scandalous.
I just want you to be there for me, Kristen. Is there any room
He said, we ain't moist, you're moist.
The valley, all new Tuesdays at 9 on Bronzo.
Shove your moisture straight up your crack.
Big crowd here at Wells Fargo.
Now you get back to the fucking show.
There we go.
Deadly
There it is.
Destruction presented by Sonic. Right in with 3.
I didn't mean to go on a rant like that, but it gets nerve-wracking when
Nathan Frazier.
all these fucking
Great
guys
debut
at one
on
time.
SmackDown, and now he does. Here comes Frazier Wade.
You know when I first got this, I thought there was going to be a way to delete commercials.
Because this guy is simply too fast.
But I guess they forgot.
Actually, when I was in Minnesota and I had TiVo, which is not the same thing, but it's somewhat similar, there was actually a way you could skip commercials. I can't believe this doesn't happen.
Close. It's an absolute disbelief. Well, the Blues are ringing out, and I understand it. You see, the mouth of Elton Prince busted wide open. This was a late kick out. I'm not quite sure it may have been an elbow that connected to the jaw of Elton Prince, who looks in an absolutely terrible state, and Nathan Fraser here, who might be like taking candy from a baby because Elton Prince looks like a beaten man.
Just look at his face.
I'll give you something. This is a bit of an experience here from Nathan Fraser, taking an opponent up in his own tag corner, which is essentially giving a free tag here to Kit Wilson.
Now off to the floor, and now here comes Kit Wilson.
Fraser didn't see the tag.
He
was
did
so
not.
focused on attacking Elton Prince.
This is so extra.
For the win!
It makes me feel
And the kick
dirty.
out at the very last second.
Well, that was a mistake.
Leave
Nathan
that on-
Fraser really needs to
leave
learn
that
from
on the
that.
rope.
And you won't
But
get many
touching
chances
those
like that
feet.
here at SmackDown.
Yeah.
Fraser is lucky he's still ticking in this
This
one.
isn't wrestling. This is
Oh, big right hand comes
Like
in.
high school.
wrestling's
From
version
Kit
of
Wilson.
porn.
Wilson might have to win this one on his own if he's going to
I
be
was about to
successful.
say the same
I
thing,
think Elton
too.
Prince is down for the count at this point, and it's effectively a 2-on-1 matchup, and now Axiom back in the fray.
Kit Wilson in that compromised position.
Just rapid tags here from Fraxium. It is now Nathan Fraser who's the legal man.
Oh, Spanish fly!
And this did the damage last week, Joe.
Meanwhile, Nathan Fraser Phoenix Splash! The combo work for the win! They get it! And that is 2 for 2 on SmackDown. Your winners, Fraxia!
Well, it was certainly not beginner's luck for Fraxium. 2 weeks in a row now. Big W's against top tier contenders. The Spanish fly from Axiom, stacked with his Phoenix splash from Nathan Fraser. 2 weeks in a row, it's done the damage, and that could be the key to Fraxium one day winning gold here on the blue brand.
And they are making a big statement early on in what is a richly talented and proven tag team division. Big win for Fraxia.
Welcome. You know, after watching the Street Profits win that TLC match last week, it's really brought some inspiration. And I would love if Meechin and myself would be able to get our hands on some gold of our own.
And we know that you just gave some time off to Liv and Raquel, so Liv can go film that movie. I'm just saying that when they come back, we would be honored to go
Okay, I can take that under consideration.
Just a couple of paper tigers and a huge big theatre. Madam Chat, Gypsy, you can come in then.
Oh, condolences for your loss.
Oh, you look good covering all black and hell.
So sad. Nicholas, last
Great.
week was rigged, hijacked by the deep state of jealous women in the locker room, led by none other than crooked Selena Vega.
Chelsea, the numbers don't lie, and the referee counted 3. So that's the number I care.
Textbook collusion is what that is. We are talking about the United States Championship, Nicholas. You're not even from here.
Neither are you, or you, or you.
How dare you blasphemy?
She's American hero. That's right. Nicholas, don't make me take you to the Supreme Court.
Well, good luck with that. I have a show to run, so unless there's something else.
No, wait. What if I told you I won't take you to the Supreme Court and instead you will give me the recount that I deserve?
I think you mean a rematch, and that's something we can certainly talk about, just not tonight, because tonight, Selena Vega is going one-on-one with Piper Niven.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Since when?
Right now, one-on-one.
Ridiculous!
And hey, if Piper's successful, she'll be first in line for a title shot, and then maybe she could be U.S. champion, and then maybe you can be her secret hers.
Her side.
Chelsea's losing her mind. It was a shocking return a week ago for Nia Jax and Cedar's elimination chamber. We'll hear from the dangerous and determined Nia Jax next.
6. Carmel, you're next. You ready?
Then I'll get ready. I'll stay ready.
Press to go right along with you, no matter where. Prize for lives in drop.
okay.
We haven't really followed
followed it. We just know it was crazy. And they kind of get bits and pieces here and there. But it's interesting. It's just one of those trials, those rare trials. O.J. Simpson, Jean-Benet Ramsey. Doesn't happen a lot where it just captivates people.
Yeah.
So this has. Now, I find this story that you guys did over the weekend, that you did, Fabian, really interesting about Amber's lawyer.
Yeah, so shout out Chantel from our social media team. She actually found this on TikTok sort of organically, but it was sort of a thing. Essentially, people on TikTok, and there's a lot of the Johnny Depp defenders, if you will, they're all over social media. They're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, especially on TikTok. They're huge on TikTok. But there's this thing going around where they essentially got like a clip of Elaine Brennehoff in court next to Amber, looking pretty down and out. And people have been kind of picking and choosing these snapshots of her looking sort of, red nose and just kind of flustered.
But you should explain. She was totally out there. Totally out there.
Yes, and this all goes back. Yeah, this all goes back to Tuesday's cross-examination.
She couldn't get a question out.
She couldn't. So Camille Vasquez came up, cross-examined Amber, was very effective in doing that. Elaine came back for redirect and then was not successful.
Well, you should say, but one thing she looked at the judge was, I'm doing my best.
I have
never heard a lawyer say that.
Because Camille was objecting to every little thing
and the judge was
sustaining the majority of it, and Elaine couldn't really get a word out. And she was so frustrated. She looked up into her thoughts. She's like, I'm trying. She says it
Who
twice.
says that?
Elaine, obviously.
To see that kind of capitulation live in a trial.
Capitulation is surrender.
It seemed like she was waiting for the white flag. And she says, I'm trying. She finishes her redirect. It wasn't successful. After that, she was wrapped up with Amber in her redirect. Amber stormed off. She left the courtroom because the judge said, okay, you can go sit with your attorneys again. The jury hadn't been excused, by the way. Amber left the room. She walked right past her attorneys. You could see them kind of looking at her and looking at each other like, did we do something bad? Yes, we did. And Amber was furious. So Amber leaves the courtroom. People saw that entire scene. And
But for the jury to see that, it's devastating.
But people kind of looked at this whole thing, especially for Elaine, she's leading Amber's legal counsel, and they say, damn, we feel bad for Elaine because she has a tough case, and people say she has not so easy to defend. Fine, and that this all boils down to, everyone thinks, not everyone, but a lot of people think Amber's just a liar. They say, how can Elaine defend a liar? And they sympathize with her, and that was the story, that Elaine is garnering this sympathy. And it's so interesting because hardly anybody has any real sympathy for Amber, but even her lawyers are now starting to get a shoulder to cry on from the public. It's crazy.
There's a thin line between, Johnny's legal team is impressive. They just are very impressive. Camille has made a name for herself in this trial. I think she'll be a big lawyer in years to come. Sure. But there's a thin line between mastery of your craft and bullying of your opponent. And I think what you saw here. Now listen, look, she's doing her job. She's zealously advocating for her client. I don't think she's necessarily bullying, but I think the way it reads to people when you're so much better that you're batting them around in court. The read of it to people is that Elaine is outmatched and they are spiking the football on her head. That's why she's getting this sympathy.
No, I disagree. I think, in fact, I so disagree that people who are doing this, talking about this, want Johnny Depp to win. Yeah. Camille is facilitating that in their eyes. So the fact that she's effective, that has nothing to do with bullying. She just did a good job. I don't think anybody is critical of Camille. What I think is going on here is that the reason, and this is just my opinion about it, but there's a reason that all of a sudden Amber Heard's lawyer is getting sympathy. And the reason is because Amber was turned on. And when people saw Amber storm out of the courtroom, they're like, okay, who am I going to side with, Amber or the lawyer? And the fact that Amber showed anger for her lawyer made people feel sympathy for the lawyer.
So I'm sort of hesitant.
Oh my gosh, Derek, man. I'm looking at Derek's face. I think you bought it.
There's no bit of truth to it. There's no bit of truth. They didn't have their sympathy for Amber for having their sympathy for the lawyer.
Things I'm saying, you're right. It's more so them saying like, oh my God, look at Amber. And by the way, I'm hesitant to talk about this because these are fully rumors. There's nobody confirming it. People saying, people who are in the court are claiming that when the cameras are rolling, either calls or whatever, they claim they've seen Amber and the team shouting matches and Lorraine getting really frustrated with Amber herself. They claim that, I don't know if there's any truth to that whatsoever, there's no way to verify it. People have said they've heard these rumors of Amber and her team getting these squabbling, these shouting matches and squabbling with each other. There seems to be infighting. That's another.
So is that something that she has a tough client?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes.
A tough client, and this is an impossible task.
But nobody
That's what people's hatred for Amber Heard
Yes.
is unbelievable to me.
And I gotta tell you, I believe that there's a lot of fighting because Amber Heard, listen, this was a public campaign that she wrote. That's why she wrote that op-ed in the Washington Post. So this is a public.
I'm gonna go use my bathroom. Be right back. Okay.
That's right. And the fact that she's losing.
Well, the one that dragged her to court is probably that's true, which is what she said on the stand consistently. She said, I didn't want this. I wanted to write an op-ed about my experience as a domestic violence victim, and he brought it into court.
Right, but she was the one pushing this. And she cares about public perception. She's losing that right now. And you've got to wonder, especially because it's not going well in court, there's got to be that infighting. And that's just speaking of infighting, this Jersey Shore story is ridiculous. I think, it's like the cast of Jersey Shore is pissed off that the network has announced that there's a reboot with a new cast. And they're younger. They're basically people who were as young as they were when they started the show, which is almost like 10 years ago.
It was 2010 when I first started college.
Yeah.
That's when they started coming out. Yeah.
Okay, can you take that back? I don't want to hear it.
It's over a decade old.
I mean, you just moved it.
You just moved it. Anyway, okay, stop that now. Okay, stop that now. Okay, so they are pissed off. And it's like
they all posted the same statement, by the way.
And read the statement because this is so ridiculous.
They say everybody, Snooki, Jay Wild, the whole gang, they all posted saying, we are not in support of a version that would exploit the original show and hard work and authenticity to gain viewers. First of all, that's exactly what you're doing when you first signed on to the show way back when. First of all,
you mean when they got drunk and fell off bicycles?
Yeah. You guys are older now. You're older folks now.
You got kids, married.
Nobody cares. And this, by the way, this thinking of you're old and you're washed up, also ties to the Kardashians, I would argue a little bit, but it's true. It's like you guys are old and washed up. Nobody wants to see that. You're not washed up. They are kind of washed up because you're not providing
to say they're in a different phase of life.
Providing the same type of drama you did when you were in your 20s. I'm sorry, none of you are. Even Paulie D, he was the party guy. You're kind of an old timer at this point.
I hate this sentiment so much. I hate that they got extremely famous. They all had huge careers because of that show. And I call this pulling up the ladder after you become famous. They don't want anyone else to capitalize on getting drunk at bars and antics out in the Jersey Shore, which, by the way, they didn't invent. These were just a couple of kids who did this, got very famous, but they want to pull up the ladder and not allow anyone else to share that success. I think it's a gross sentiment. I think it's natural for humans to feel it, to feel like, oh, we're being replaced. That's our shtick. That's our shtick, not yours. Right. But I think it's gross. I think you should resist saying it, not say publicly.
You know what it feels like to me? That the original cast is getting in a room and they're just playing Bruce Springsteen's Glory Days. It's sort of like, okay, guys, you had that, but that's what people like to see. The reason you got famous and rich is because they like seeing what you did when you were 20. You're not 20 anymore, and the network wants to keep that franchise that you didn't create, that they created. They just cast you in it. Yeah. They want to cast new people.
You know what they should do is shift their mindset. This is homage. This is an homage to a successful
brand. Not to people who want to be stars.
Beverly Hills 90210 did a reboot. Of course, you couldn't still do it with Brendan and Brenda from the 90s. They're now 50 years old. So you do a reboot. That's an homage to the enduring success of that formula.
There's a difference. That if 90210 wanted to, if they felt that they should be doing, okay, let's talk about what happens 10 years after they graduate from high school. That would be the equivalent because that's what Jersey Shore is trying to do with Snooki and company.
Right, family vacation.
Yeah, but
except now they all have 3 kids. So
that's ridiculous. Yeah, and I love our production sources there. They're calling the cast ungrateful, calling it disgusting that they could exploit the network this way, and it's true. I mean,
these are naturally trashy people. You've seen that forever. So
it's deep in their DNA.
It's not that alarming, but One thing of correction I'll make real quick is that I sort of compared them to Kardashians. The Kardashians have done a better job just objectively of staying relevant even at their older age, and all the kids that they have. Their new show is actually doing well. It's performing well. As much as I hate it, it's performing well. People are still tuning in. It's just crazy to me. So it's like, I don't know, maybe there is sort of an audience for an older, like an older IP, if you will.
Well, they're worried if this new one comes in, those who watch Family Vacation, because if you want to see the real rowdy kids, you'll watch the New Jersey show. Anyway.
Okay. Last thing. Speaking of the Kardashians, so Pete Davidson said goodbye to Saturday Night Live.
I'm so angry about this.
Yeah. I bet we're doing it.
I'm angry about this because, first of all, like, yeah, he had a long run. Good, great. That's fine. Dude, first of all, I just want to mention the fact that Pete Davidson got the headlines as the person leading the show. We led with it. Everybody else led with it, which is fine. That's what the media is these days on Pete Davidson. That's how famous and important he is. Aidy Bryant and, more importantly, Kate McKinnon also left. And they have contributed so much more to that show over the years than Pete Davidson has. He is
Harvey, this is 100% correct.
He is never.
He is not important.
He is not.
Never has.
He doesn't appear in sketches, Harvey. He's sprinkled throughout every so often. He appears on Weekend Update every so often. But he is not. And Kate McKinnon has contributed so much.
Okay.
He is not integral. He has had 8 uninteresting seasons on
And
SNL.
Aidy Bryant was dismissed. He didn't get a little second or goodbye. It was so shameful.
Kate McKinnon got to go on the space shuttle and give her goodbye in the open.
Hey guys, I agree with what you said. And at the same time, are you kidding me? Where do you work? I mean,
we take a long, hard look at ourselves.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, no, because we mirror what people are interested in.
That's true.
And the reality is, you're absolutely right that Kate McKinnon and others were more important than Pete on the show. But in terms of
cultural,
yeah, I mean, look, and it all goes back to dating Kim Kardashian.
Yes, and that's what's.
And Ariana Grande.
But why does that surprise you?
His fame is not merited. It's not warranted on his own objective contributions to showbiz or whatever. He's not that a big of a thrill. Yeah, he's good at the sack apparently, but that's all he's famous for dating these women and his profile.
He's made a whole career on
Let me ask you, without mentioning who, do you think there are singers who aren't really that good, but they end up becoming incredibly famous over people who have much more talent?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is that they're actually on stage doing something. They're pumping out content.
No, he's pumping out content. It's just it may not be as good as Kate McKinnon, but look, I know somebody who's a very famous singer-songwriter, and that person told me about the person who needed more auto-tuning than anybody else this person has ever worked with. It's a very famous, successful singer. And this person is incredibly famous. I'm not going to say who, but my only point is, this happens all the time. It's like, what do they do off stage that usually becomes more sticky, more interesting to people than what they do on stage? A song is a song is a song.
No.
Well,
My question
may
is,
be wrong.
You know what?
It
The
doesn't bother
biggest
me.
example of this is, the biggest example in my mind is your favorite person, is Diana Ross, who is not the most talented singer on the screen. Never was, correct? I'm going to ask you, was she the most talented singer on the screen?
Well,
no, but do you know another super?
Hold on.
Is the answer no or yes?
I can answer your question, and the answer is she was not the best singer in the group. The best singer in the group was Florence Ballard.
Correct.
However,
And it's
No,
tragic.
no,
It's tragic that Florence Ballard doesn't have the name.
No. Let me just finish. Barry Gordy, the head of Motown, early on said, yeah, Florence may be a better singer, but Diana has everything else, and she's a good singer, and she can propel this group. Here's the bottom line.
And that's a tragedy.
No. Hold on.
Jennifer Hudson sings her heart out.
First of all, you're smiling, but hold on. He was right.
Yeah,
he was right. Okay, so what's your beat? He was right.
That comparison
What's your beat?
doesn't apply to Pete because Pete doesn't have it. He doesn't have anything. Look at this guy.
Oh my God.
Serious. Look at him. He doesn't have anything.
He's not even Diana Ross. Who's had all these other attributes. He is elite. He's a leech.
Oh my God.
Grande. Now I'm thinking that the guy brings.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
That gauntlet of a man.
You know what? There's a lot of nice guys.
That's what he is.
You know what? You're mad that he's a nice guy.
Nice guys are supposed to finish last. There's a reason for that. This guy's finishing first, and it bothers Fabian and I.
Yeah, it bothers you.
Yeah,
It's about you too. This is very problematic.
Hey guys, we're going to a psychologist. We'll see you in 5.
God damn it. Why did he do that? Jesus Christ. Come on, dude. What the fuck? Here, let's do this. Like, dude, really? You're gonna make me sit here all night? Fuck you, bitch. Let's go. God damn it. There we are, I think. Oh, while you were gone, you got some more people responding to you.
They're the same people who I just responded to when I left.
Sorry, I don't mean to hold up the show. I want to get back to where I was.
It's okay.
Motherfucker, come on. For jizz on Jesus juice, man. Can we go any faster? Porcupine on a penis. Jesus, let's go. People sleepwalk faster than this. Christ. There we go. I think.
This episode is brought to you by the Disney Plus Hulu Max bundle with plans starting at just $16.99 a month. Stream the
God damn it, there we go.
Check it out.
Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza.
God damn, man. What the fuck?
Who has his work cut out?
Here we go.
It's a no-brainer.
Hey Google, turn it up.
The all-new Acura ADX with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, crafted to match your energy.
The race is on for the PGA Tour Championship. Everything about his golf game just looks like a winner.
The PGA Tour Champions season continues on Golf Channel.
This is massive news that broke. The WWE, in partnership with the Western Australian government and tourism in Western Australia, they've announced that Crown Jewel's going to be in Perth. They'll headline a WWE weekend takeover in Perth, Australia. It happens this October, Saturday, October 11th, and that venue will also host Friday Night SmackDown on the 10th and Monday Night Raw on Monday the 13th of October. And undisputed champion John Cena will be there in Perth. His final appearance in Australia. And you can register for tickets at WWE.com/WWE Australia 2025. Of course, his huge resume of his career. A loud complaint recently about being left off the WrestleMania cards. Well, that was silent. Incredible entries and stunning return fans were about to experience again. We're all back in black here on Friday Night SmackDown.
Wait, did he do this to AEW too? Did he have an entrance like that? He was sitting on the ground. But he didn't have a levitate.
It has been 1,663 days since Aleister Black has had an official WWE match. It was October 2020. Life takes really curious paths. The course that Aleister Black has been on now comes with a concerning destination for so many in the SmackDown locker room.
Unnerving, otherworldly presence. Somebody I've not seen in the locker room all day this week. All day last week, he just appears and causes devastation with precision strikes. A ton of questions surrounding the return of Aleister Black, and top of the list for me is why target The Miz. The Miz is convinced it's because Aleister Black wants to stand in the Miz's gigantic spotlight. He's targeting one of the biggest names with one of the biggest resumes. It remains to be seen if that is indeed the case. But it has woken up something inside of the Miz, who has his work cut out in Aleister Black's first match back.
Oh, he goes spinning. Of course, that black mass laid out the Miz a week ago. He is so dangerous as a striker with that spinning kick.
Once bitten, twice shy. If you're the Miz, that connects. It is game over this evening. He's acutely aware more than anyone just how dangerous this man is. Trey kicks of his own, major faux pas against a Muay Thai expert like Aleister Black.
He's so capable. That kickboxing pedigree, Muay Thai, everything he's capable of doing. Against The Miz now all of a sudden gets on the attack.
There are two versions of The Miz. There's the mind games playing version, likes to laugh and joke, and then there's this version that is a two-time slam.
That half clinch into the knee, into the leg sweep, that hardcore Muay Thai move.
Yeah, expert precision by Aleister Black, who trains with Muay Thai world champs Liam Harrison, Andy Housen. And if Miz thought he was going to get away with a quick one this evening, he better think again.
Miz goes for the kick. Black able to get out of the way. He's off to a very good start. Miz looks to counter. Catches that move. Then there's that right knee that comes up again. See the pedigree and the movement of Aleister Black. Right through the top of the torso of the Miz into the cover.
Black is so skilled at this, he almost comes across as that Matrix-like performer. He's just a step ahead of the Miz. At every move so far, Miz's mistake has been trying to match Aleister Black in his own game.
Had
the striking ability, he's accurate,
a similar entrance in AEW, but he had the mask when he was Malachi Black. What? He had a masked entrance. Really? Yeah.
Swinging Aleister Black's head right into the LED board on the apron.
This Xfinity Wi-Fi is cool.
Just showed exactly why he is.
Wonder why.
If it's a war you want, keep coming.
We have to send them. We cannot do this anymore. Shadow Force, rated R, only years May 9th.
Hey! Big opportunity for the Miz here against Aleister Black, who returned to SmackDown a week ago and delivered a Black Mass spinning kick to the Miz. Now the Miz comes in against Black, who's in his first official WWE match since October of 2020.
Well, it has been an absolute masterclass by the Miz. Oh, go for that skull crusher finale, but too quick was Aleister Black, and the Miz has just shown exactly why he is so special when he drops the posturing, drops the clowning around, because he's effectively neutralized somebody who was mowing him down in the early goings of this one.
Off the step, but he hits a huge knee. I mean, a huge right knee as the Miz just drapes into that area.
Yeah, tremendous reactionary strike there from Aleister Black, who didn't get more than a split-second notice that the Miz was darting at him. It was the perfect strike at the perfect time, which tells you exactly why Black is just so dangerous.
Yes, that striking ability. Great time moves that we saw early on in this match when he took advantage, and now he's able to parry that right hand and then sweeps the leg. And look at the speed and the offensive personal attack of Aleister Black.
Sure, strike to the liver in there at one point.
Oh, springboard right to the cover. And look at that shoulder up on the 2 count. What's the Miz?
The Miz has been completely debilitated by various body strikes there, all of them so precise. All Miz can do at this point is cover up and hope for the best.
Tickets available for Monday Night Raw in nearby Omaha, and we are only 8 days away from Backlash. Randy Orton, John Cena, we are going to hear from the Viper here tonight on SmackDown. He's able to catch that knee. The hair that stops down before delivering the DDT. And Miz, he hooks the leg himself, looking for the win before that left shoulder gets up.
Once again, it's the dirty tricks of the Miz that keep getting him back on top in this one. About as deep, dirty trick playbook as this industry has ever seen, and Carmelo Hayes is loving every second of his mentor beating the hell out of Aleister Black.
Carmelo Hayes, words of encouragement, perhaps offering up a little bit of strategy And Coach O, did you just look at the reaction by Aleister Black?
When you train with world champs in Muay Thai kicking your chest, these are just bouncing off for Aleister Black.
Spinning elbow. Oh,
Ban that move immediately. That is what the locker room is yelling. Punk straight to the jaw of the Miz.
What a thunderous strike from Aleister Black, but Miz comes back and snaps down his head on that rope.
I never want Aleister Black to kick me.
Oh, he's looking for the skull-crushing finale. Can you believe that? Can you believe that cartwheel reversal counter from Black? Look into those eyes. The mysterious Aleister Black. He delivers again.
I mean, you've got all the time in the world. Count to 300 here. Miz has no clue what planet he's on.
When he puts that foot under that head and lifts up his potential victim. Oh, Carmelo Hayes gets up on the apron.
Thinks twice.
Oh, there's a roll-up attempt. There's a roll-up for the win. And the kick out by Black. There it is. There it is. Black Mass. Here is your winner, Aleister Black.
He's mysterious, he's intense, he's highly dangerous. Give the devil his due. And Carmelo Hayes, not this week, pal. Live to fight another day.
Does he want a piece of that? Face to face, Carmelo Hayes and Aleister Black after a massive black mass was just delivered to the chin of the Miz. First win.
Was there somebody new that came into
5
AEW
years for
recently?
Aleister Black. Back on Friday Night SmackDown.
Judging by that performance,
No,
the
not
first
really much.
of many,
I don't watch the last
Joe
Wednesday
test.
night.
Devastating striking ability. Black Mass spinning kick. And the Miz checking his teeth. Carmelo.
Oh, just like he's doing here. He's
What
sitting
a
on the ground.
showpiece win. Welcome
Yeah.
back, Aleister Black.
Felix, I want some advice. Look, I had a chance to watch your match at WrestleMania, and brother, I gotta tell you, what I saw was a true embodiment of disappointment. Yeah. Not only did you lose the biggest match of your life, for which you should be embarrassed, but you also embarrassed the whole tradition of lucha libre by losing to a clown, un payaso, like El Grande Americano. Rey Mysterio himself picked you to take his place at WrestleMania. And you blew it. And now, the self-appointed
He looks just
greatest
like Ray.
luchador of all time is out of the picture. And this time, hopefully forever. Someone's gonna have to take his place, and that person, brother, has always been me. So, if you know what's best for you, you're gonna want to listen closely to what I gotta say. Mira, cállate. Stay out of my business, okay? Whoa, espera. There is only one luchador in the world I trust, and definitely it's not you, brother.
He's
If
calling
you
the
have a
Jew.
problem, I will see you in the ring tonight.
He said it's not you.
The following Introducing first from Queens, New York, she is the new Women's United States Champion, Zelina Vega! How can you not feel great about the new Women's U.S. Champion, Zelina Vega? The persistence, that underdog grit, kept knocking on the door, proving herself, overcame all the nonsense with Chelsea Green, and now faces one of the main obstacles during that stretch. Vega against Piper Niven. That's coming up next. The new Women's United States Champion. Sunday on W.
Beautiful banking.
Catchphrase?
You got to bank through China to get a catchphrase.
Well, but
Not now. Bank through China to get a catchphrase.
Latest seasons of The Last of Us on Max and or on Disney Plus, and the final season of The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. All of these and more streaming soon. Terms apply. Visit Disney Plus Hulu MaxBundle.com for more details.
Hey, what's up, Steven? Just watching Smackdown with Michael right here.
Kate Moss,
Hi.
really undercut.
So what's up?
Today.
I'm going to talk
and I say
to
that
Steven
because
on the
Amber
porch
Heard
with it, Michael. I'll be
is
right back.
not only
Okay.
making allegations,
So what's
she's
going on?
making innuendo.
She is.
And the innuendo is not first person observation. It's, yeah, well, I kind of believe that Johnny was going to do to me what I heard he did to Kate Moss.
Yeah.
I'm shocked the judge. Kate Moss, I think, really undercut Amber Heard today. And I say that because Amber Heard is not only making...
Starting at just $16.99 a month. Stream the latest seasons of The Last of Us on Max and or on Disney Plus, and the final season of The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. All of these and more streaming soon. Terms apply. Visit Disney Plus Hulu MaxBundle.com for more details.
Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Welcome to the TMZ Podcast. Harvey Levin here. So, Kate Moss, I think, really undercut Amber Heard today. And I say that because Amber Heard is not only making allegations, she's making innuendo.
She is.
And the innuendo is not first person observation. It's, yeah, well, I kind of believe that Johnny was going to do to me what I heard he did to Kate Moss.
Yeah.
I'm shocked the judge let that in. B, Kate Moss destroyed that today.
She did. I can clarify this. So Amber Heard first opened this door a couple weeks ago when she was on the stand on one of her days. She was recounting this time in late March 2015 when this was after they came back from Australia. The fingertip was chopped off. She claims that her and Johnny got into another physical fight. Her sister Whitney was present. Her sister Whitney confirmed the account on her own testimony. But apparently what they say is that Johnny ran up the stairs, was going to try to attack Amber. Whitney got in the way. They claim that he hit Whitney, and then Amber, seeing this and seeing her sister in a sort of compromising position at the top of the stairs, when she testified on the stand, was like, "Oh my God!" I just thought immediately Kate Moss. To your point about why the judge let it in, the judge let it in because nobody objected. And there's a reason nobody objected. If you looked at Ben Chu, the rest of the attorneys, he did a victory fist pump because they looked at each other and were like, yes, well, now we can get Kate on this. Because I believe I saw reports that Amber might have done the same thing in the UK trial, invoked this Kate Moss rumor. And they wanted to bring Kate Moss on the stand to rebut her, and that's exactly what they did. Camille addressed this on Cross last week, basically saying, the Kate Moss thing is just a rumor, correct? And she's like, yeah, it's just a vague rumor I heard. That's kind of why I said it. And now here they are closing the loop on this again, and with Kate Moss herself saying, "You never hit me."
Is that true? If there's a fist bump?
Yes, Ben Chu. Like when they said Kate Moss, they cut to Ben Chu, and you see him. He's like, they look. He's like, yes. They wanted that moment because they wanted her to open the door, bring Kate Moss in, and shut this down. And Kate Moss did exactly that. And I think it's effective because
they got Ellen Barkin, the Amber's team got Ellen Barkin, another ex of Johnny's, to basically say, to paint him in a different light, paint him as a aggressive and jealous, etc. Ellen Barkin didn't testify that he ever struck her. She did testify that he threw a wine bottle in her direction. So that looked bad for Johnny. But now here's Kate Moss, an even more high-profile ex of his, claiming the exact opposite.
So they were together in the 90s for a few years, and she is in England where she lives. So she testified on video. Well, it was live, but via video. Yeah. And here is what she said. What, if anything, happened when you were in Jamaica with Mr. Depp?
We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did, and there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs, and I hurt my back, and I screamed because I was because I didn't know what had happened to me, and I was in pain, and he came running.
Can I turn this back on or should I wait?
You can turn it back on.
Oh, but now, my man is building his credit score.
As there's and episode 7 featuring Pat McAfee of Stephanie's Places comes out next Wednesday. This week's Stephanie's Places, of course, a 10-episode ESPN original series, been outstanding, great reception. Features the Bloodline, available to watch on ESPN Plus, also available on Hulu and Disney Plus. Excellent work. Of course, Pat's got some work to do against Gunther in 8 days at Backlash.
Ooh, rather him than me. The showdown that's going to be.
That's every Wednesday, Stephanie's Places. It is a great night here at Wells Fargo Arena. Look at this big man. Look at Deion Dawkins, the 4-time Pro Bowl, the offensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills. The big man is sitting here ringside among this massive crowd here in Des Moines, Iowa.
And get this, just announced, we had a luchador dispute in the locker room moments ago. Well, we're going to settle it tonight as the Electric Ray Phoenix and the Emperor of Lucha Libre, Santos Escobar, they're going to go one-on-one later tonight right here on SmackDown.
So there's your main event.
Vega, United States champion, having defeated Chelsea Green.
And her opponent, accompanied by Chelsea Green and Alma Fire from Glasgow, Scotland, Piper Niven!
And Wade, let's remind everyone what happened last week with Piper and secret purpose from Alma Fire.
Yeah, well, it's been weeks of chasing, but Zelina Vega finally got her opportunity at the U.S. title last week.
She is strong indeed. Chelsea Green.
I've probably said this before,
There she is.
but I'm so glad that they're calling her Piper Niven, which
she says
probably isn't her real name either. But
I'll give you a
the
little
thing is
more on
that
in a moment.
the whole dewdrop thing, that was
Piper
so
is
fucking
out and
stupid.
serving at the right hand of
By the
US
way,
champ
while you were out of the
Chelsea
room,
Green.
you
Now
got
it's
one
Chelsea
message.
without the title and Piper taking on
It's the same messages.
Immediately, you see the disparity in physical advantages in this one, and Zelina Vega right from the off the jump looks like a mouse lost in a maze. Well, there's a big lion coming away in the form of Piper Niven.
Piper with a size advantage, but being stretched out by Zelina Vega. It'll be interesting to see the strategy that Vega takes in taking on Piper in a spot like this, who looks to just splash but misses.
Well, that was a great strategy. Get the hell out of the way of that, because it would have been a short night for our new champ had Piper Niven connected there.
Zelina Vega, the new champion. Oh, and the big knee comes in, and Wade, Never underestimate how much a title means to someone. It was an emotional scene this week on social media. Zelina Vega posting, bringing the championship to the 9/11 memorial and placing it on her late father's nameplate. That was a beautiful scene.
Yeah, absolutely incredible from Zelina Vega. The contrast that with the emotions here from the former champ Chelsea Green.
Big shoulder just takes down Vega.
It was a sad lament in the physical form last week when Chelsea lost her title, and that has been extended here at ringside.
But I mean, when you look at Chelsea Green, I ran into her earlier tonight. The black sunglasses, the black veil, the whole head-to-toe formal funeral outfit. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Well, many times in our country, in history, we collectively grieve." Incredible to think, but she was compelled to try to replicate as close to a similar outfit that Jackie O wore during the presidential funeral back in the 60s. That was from Chelsea herself. That is what
Come
she
on,
said.
Joe, have a heart, Lady Liberty.
I mean, but to
Pepper
say
Nevin
that,
says,
we're all
my name is
talking
Kimberly
about-
Benson.
That's right from Chelsea's mouth as to what her intent was in this outfit tonight.
Right, we're all in mourning and looking.
Nobody is.
Well,
Nobody is.
well, you're the only one who is out. You have a heart of stone, Joe.
There are
Better
maybe
name
three
than
people,
fucking
and one of them is Chelsea Green
Dude.
herself. It is a wonderful story to see what Zelina Vega,
Dude
the
Drop sounds
underdog,
like a
has pulled off.
cartoon
And
character.
everything she had to go through
Or
to get to that
a
point.
dog
As Piper
Hasbro.
slams her down so hard.
The celebrations are brief.
Dewdrop,
The
available
United
at all
States
toy
champion. You have to
stores.
think, and this might not suit Chelsea well. The Piper never wins here in this non-title affair. Perhaps she will be due an opportunity at the goal.
There's no doubt.
A Saturday morning
But
cartoon,
right now,
The Adventures
Zelina Vega
of
is in
Dewdrop.
trouble. Piper's in control.
WWE Universe, let the adventure begin. We want to send you to Universal.
Going to a 9-to-5 job, doing your taxes, or whatever lies ahead.
Mac to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No,
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
no, he never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
This
Well,
is
there you go.
absolutely terrible for Amber Heard because not only is it not an instance of violence, it's actually an instance of chivalry. The way she paints it, that Johnny came out and carried her up the stairs. Now remember, Amber's task here, because her credibility has been so blown during the course of her testimony, is she needs to establish some sort of pattern that Johnny Depp is a monster, and not only I've seen it, but others have seen it. That's essential to her case. And this is devastating because she's painted the opposite picture. Johnny saving a woman who was injured. The other thing I find interesting that I want to point out is Fabian's talking more like a trial lawyer, and it's a fascinating. As he follows this case, he said that you've heard this, I'm sure, where he said he opened the door to this. Yeah, that's what you say, a trial lawyer, because she messed up by allowing her client to open the door to something that allowed the defense to bring Kate Moss to the stand and actually tell this firsthand story. And it only happened because of a misstep by Amber's attorneys in not controlling their witness and what their witness brought up on the stand. I think this is a misstep by Elaine.
So I should clarify. You guys are the lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, but when you
Hold on, what about the baby bar? You want to say it?
no, I'm not going to do that.
I got my money on you over Kim.
Oh God! I guess what I'll say is, like, to your point, like when you're watching the trials closely, as I have been, like you notice these little nuanced things, and like you hear language being invoked. To your point about Elaine not being able to control her, I think that's why there have been so many reports and rumors about the infighting with Elaine and Amber, because Amber goes rogue like this, says something. I'm sure that was not in the game plan, right? And I'm sure later Elaine was probably pissed. Like, what are you doing? Like,
This is not as public.
Well, it worked in England. And that's and see, I think that's why it's devastating for Amber Heard in America. And I'll tell you why. It's one thing to make allegations, but when you start hurling rumors, it looks weak. It looks like, really? So now you're going to hurl rumors and make allegations against this guy?
And it's a high risk proposition because that person can come up.
And by the way, and then justify that this is why I went after him.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a rumor. And when you start with rumors, it's like, that's the firepower you have.
Yeah.
And then you have somebody get up and stand squarely and say it's not true. It really hurts her.
Yeah, and one other thing I was going to say too that's really interesting about this. One, Ellen Barkin was called and she did testify and she said yes when I was with Johnny. And by the way, Ellen Barkin was not an ex-girlfriend; she was a fling. It was a booty call that Johnny. They were sleeping together for a few months at a time in the 90s, right around the same time you ended up seeing Kate Moss as well. But Kate Moss was a serious girlfriend that he was with for an extended period of time, and for a few years, I believe. So I think Kate Moss's testimony is actually more effective and more impactful because Ellen Barkin was with him periodically, sporadically. Again, it was a fling, it was a booty call thing at the time. And who knows? I mean, Johnny maybe was in a different state of mind at the time that he was with Ellen, because that's when he was filming Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Right.
Who knows what kind of drugs was going on with that? But
It's powerful, but remember Amber Heard's task here. She does have Ellen Barkin in her pocket as another person who has claimed that Johnny Depp is capable of violence. She doesn't have to prove every instance of it. People are complicated. It's possible he had a non-violent relationship with Kate Moss and then a violent one with Ellen Barkin or a violent one with Amber Heard. These are all possibilities. Sure. And Amber's task is not to prove that Johnny Depp is a monster 100% of the time. Amber Heard's task is to say, I didn't defame you when I said I was in an abusive relationship with you. That's her task.
I think that's her task, but her mission has been different. She has tried to paint him as a monster.
Yes.
She has used the term monster, saying that Johnny has said the monster comes out.
Yeah.
So that may be her task. That's not the way she's playing it.
Yes.
And the fact that she's playing it differently and saying Johnny's a monster.
Hurts her with the jury.
I think it hurts her with the jury.
One last thing I'll say before we move on. We're coming down to the wire on the trial. Closing arguments are on Friday. Jury deliberations will start then as well. And a verdict can come as early as next week on Tuesday. If Johnny Depp ends up winning this thing, it's unclear if he's going to, because jury just has to believe one instance of abuse and he loses. But if they actually rule in his favor in this case, it's going to be fascinating because he lost the UK case, and people wonder because it's essentially sort of the same trial, a lot of the same witnesses, a lot of the same evidence. And one thing that people might wonder is if he does in fact win, why did they come out so differently? What happened? One, the UK, different laws, different system.
Well, different defendant.
Different defendant, true. And also, it was just one judge listening to all of it and weighing in himself. And also, he had a different set of and also different attorneys in the UK. He had different attorneys. This team he has now, I would argue, has changed things for him drastically. They are vastly responsible for why we think Johnny Depp might be winning this thing is because his lawyer. He had a completely different set of attorneys in the UK. Totally different.
The case was different, though. As Harvey said, it was about a publication rather than against Amber Heard. But you're right, and the law is procedural. It's not substantive. It's not in the same sense that you don't get the same result necessarily in every case. You play it out in front of a new jury, and you see where the facts lead you and what the jury believes.
Okay, we're going to move on. Caitlyn Jenner. I found this really interesting. First of all, she was not invited to Courtney's wedding. That I find interesting, number one. Number two, she really embraced Pete Davidson. And she's had a little experience because Kim and Pete went over to Caitlyn's house and spent time with her. And she also had things to say about Kanye that are very complicated. Let's just play this. I think this is very powerful.
Pete is, they came over the other day because I told Kim, I haven't even met him yet. So she brought him over and we spent a couple hours here at the house together. And very different than what she would normally date. But Kimberly has been through a lot with the guys she's been with, especially Kanye. I'm a very complicated guy. I really like Kanye, got along with him so well. Two of us fit great together. And even when I transitioned, he was so on my side and loving it. But he was very difficult to live with. And Pete is 180 degrees the other direction. I mean, first of all, he treats her so well. And when they were over here, Kim is so happy. And Kim deserves to be happy.
I got to tell you, this is a serious relationship.
Yeah.
This is a serious relationship.
One thing I wanted to point out, this story about Kim and Pete coming to visit Caitlyn, she's already spoken on this. We did a story about it a few months ago where she described exactly the same thing about, oh my God, Pete's so wonderful. Kim looks so different. She seems so happy now. So that's not new. The new thing that's interesting here is actually she invoked Kanye to kind of do the contrast. And she says, he's complicated to live with. He's sort of difficult. Great guy, but really difficult to live with, especially for Kim. And I guess to that, I would say,
duh, I suppose. Like, yeah, like obviously we know who Kanye is, we know what his tendencies are.
But he really, Caitlyn, she really likes Kanye. But again, and I found that fascinating. The politics are somewhat aligned, so everyone knows they're both sort of right of center or hard right, depending on how you view their
Depending
politics.
on what day it is, I guess.
But he's also got a lot. Caitlyn also has a lot of perspective on who Kanye is. Has seen. You're right. That Kanye is tough to live with, but Caitlyn has seen it firsthand.
She has perspective on Kanye. I don't think she has a lot of perspective on Pete.
Almost none.
I know, and I mean, look, everybody says Pete's a great guy and all this.
Not Fabian and I, but
when
I don't want to go down the road.
When two people are dating this way, everybody's on. You're going to meet your stepfather.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're going to be on best behavior. That doesn't mean he's on poor behavior otherwise, but
you're getting the best version of him.
That's what you would expect.
Yes,
that's what you would expect.
Unless you're a monster, you don't come in and sort of abuse it.
Right, but still, to me, I know what you're saying, Fabian. This is a really serious relationship, and I think he's moving to LA.
Oh, and now that he's done with SNL, there's nothing stopping him. He's shooting movies out here. He's dating Kim apparently seriously. So yeah, I mean, I guess to me, I'm just kind of waiting for the day that they split, because I think they're going to split, because I just can't imagine this working.
You know what, Fabian? I think they're going to get married.
Well, you know what? You have the burden of proving that. You do, not Fabian and I. We have seen that Pete Davidson. He is a guy who's been in several serious relationships, some of which got to engagements with Ariana Grande, and they break up.
Yeah.
So that is the burden on you to prove to me that Pete is a guy who takes it all the way to the finish line. I don't think he does. I think what happens is they're in their honeymoon phase. He is a little prince, but this isn't a real relationship. Even the way Caitlyn is treated, he dotes on her. He's so good to her. Kim seems so happy. It sounds like a honeymoon to me. I tell you what marriage is. It's a fucking grind.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not this.
And also, one other thing too.
Hold on, Fabian.
Okay.
You make such a compelling point. Let's wager on this, Derek.
Oh, are we gonna have? What do you want to put on it?
You tell me.
Come on, old man. What do you want?
You tell me.
Like money, or like something else, or like
no, money is too disparate for us to have.
All of a sudden,
let's not all of a sudden. We'll do the Langers, you and I, if I win. How about that? Get a big pastrami sandwich. Okay, good.
If you're shopping while working, eating, or you're listening to this podcast, then you know and love the thrill of the hunt. But are you getting the thrill of the best deals? Rakuten shoppers do. They get the brands they love with the most savings and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Macy's, Adidas, and Walmart, and even stack sales on top of cash back. It's easy to use, and you get the cash back through PayPal or check. The idea is simple. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back. So download the free Rakuten app and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's Rakuten. Rakuten.
Okay, we got to move on. I want to talk about this.
The shooting.
I got to tell you something. When did you see the senator from New Jersey get up on the Senate floor?
Yeah,
it was so moving.
Yeah.
So moving.
Steve Kerr in the Warriors game. Did you see this? No. Afterward, he was banging his fist on the table, lip trembling. Why are we continuing to do this? He was absolutely overcome with emotion. People are tired.
So Ted Cruz comes out yesterday with this bizarre statement. Never mentions guns, but says we need to arrest felons and we need to arrest, I can't remember the other name. And then he says we need to arrest the mentally ill. It's like, when did we start doing that, Ted Cruz? You are doing somersaults to get around the obvious here. So I was talking to Charles in the newsroom about a half hour ago, and he had, first of all, David, I think his first name is David Ho, the guy from David, yeah. So he was on CNN this morning, and I thought he made a really good point because they asked him, his perspective on this.
He's a survivor from Parkland.
That's right. That's right. And he had a really interesting point, which is he is a high school student, and the survivors had the ability to communicate their emotions and feelings. These little kids don't. And it makes it even more tragic, not to mention 19 children shot down
And
this way.
obviously, it's comparable to Sandy Hook. I mean, it's.
Do you remember Barack Obama's speech after Sandy Hook? It sounded a lot like what we're hearing again, which is just sort of resignation. So what are we going to do about this?
So right now, 2012. So Charles and I were having a talk, and I think this was a really interesting point. He was saying, and I think this is so interesting. Let the little kids go to Capitol Hill. Take as many little children as possible and bring them into the Capitol and knock on the doors of all of the senators, especially the ones that have blocked gun control. And just say
that feels a little. I don't like that idea. It feels contrived.
It is very emotionally charged, but at some point we need to play those emotional cards. I agree with you. It does seem manipulative in a way, but manipulative in a good fashion, right?
We need to do this.
There's a bill that was passed by the House that has been sitting in the Senate, H.R. 8, just languishing. They won't even vote on it. Right? They won't even vote on it. And that's what Steve Kerr was banging his head. There's legislation about the last shooting that we had this response, and the Senate just sits there and doesn't even vote on these measures. But you got to say, you're right. It wouldn't be manipulative. He's right. Yeah. To that point, it would be effective too, though. It would be effective. Right. That's what you need at this point.
So it's like I have to say, to sit down with a child, to hear fear in a child about going to school. Right. I suppose that these senators could come back and say, yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to arrest all the felons. It's like, at a point, the public is behind getting rid of these assault rifles, and also. Why is it legal for an 18-year-old to get an assault rifle?
That's a perfect segue because I was just about to ask. Look, we can spitball real quick. Like, do you think the solution is one ban assault rifles?
Yes.
Okay, so
what is the point?
So no U.S. citizens should have that in their possessions. No private citizens, is what you're saying.
I believe that strongly.
Okay, so there's that.
In the same way they should have tanks. I mean, those are true.
You're right. And then
we have laws against nunchucks.
Yes.
Right.
We have laws against nunchucks. Brass knuckles. We have laws.
You can't have brass knuckles or nunchucks, but you can have an AR-15.
Right.
It's insane.
That's true. And then I guess you mentioned age as well. Do you think that the age limits for just to buy a firearm in general should be raised to like 25?
You have to be careful. You have to be careful. You run up against the actual constitutional rights that you have.
Wait, there's no. I know there's a Second Amendment, but that doesn't say you.
Don't say you can't have it.
By the way,
you run up
the Second Amendment says no laws, right? And it's never. We never interpret the Constitution as being 100% correct. Okay, so we already say,
and it's got a preamble about militia.
But wait a minute, we already say you can't buy a gun under 18. So if there already is a law with an age limit, why can't you raise the age limit?
Right, because we have age limits for drinking and for renting a car. Well, that's different. That's private industry stuff. There's that a lot too.
Drinking isn't in the Bill of Rights. I mean, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution are very, very sacrosanct, and you become an adult in this country at the age of 18. It would be a tougher sell. Age limits. I think the assault weapons, you have no right to you have no right to assault weapons and killing machines. You have a right to bear arms, and what we define as arms can be much more limited than this kind of death machine.
You can't have a
broadcasting. Broadcasting on YouTube.
Yeah.
Casting it?
No, we're streaming on YouTube.
Which is YouTube TV through my computer.
Okay. Am I bothering you guys?
Because SmackDown is.
Nah, you good.
I'm trying to let it get past commercial time.
Yeah, we're just killing time before we continue watching SmackDown.
Okay, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I just wanted to come in here and say hi.
He was on social media on his Instagram account.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Thanks. I love your room. I wish I could have it.
Random girl.
That room right there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit in your bed.
Random girl in LA. He tagged her in one of these photos randomly. I don't know if he.
Well, you can hang out in my room if you want to sometime.
You're such a great friend. Thank you so much for being so kind.
And the girl released these messages and was now catching backlash. Like,
yeah, but everybody calls me JB for short.
Okay, JB, that's cute too.
I was trying to sort of like talk him
Bree
out of
did
whatever
that
he was
for
kicking
him.
he was doing. And I feel horrible for this person because she got roped in.
Bree just write her name on your
This guy
wall.
was posting these weapons and he was this young. Like,
Can I write
I don't know. There's got to be some kind of system to flag that type of stuff. Like someone has to flag it. Authorities need to, like, you know what I mean? Like a kid who's posting all these photos of guns. I know
It
that
happened.
it's legally fine.
It happened with Buffalo.
Yeah.
It happened with Buffalo. That this guy made it clear when
if there are warning signs, there's got to be some kind of system, like a government system in place to do or step in and do something on that. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but if someone has to step in on these warning sign things and they're so clear, like this one was clearly. All these things in hindsight are always so damn clear. It's just crazy.
I just don't know how, as a country, we can do nothing, take no steps after this.
I think I might sign my name when I leave here or
I
my
have a 6-year-old, and I send her to school every day, and it's a tremendous amount of trust to send your most precious thing in life is your children. It just is. When you have them, you'll understand. And I leave her there with an amount of trust. They don't understand death. They don't understand any of this stuff. And they are so pure. I took my to a Cub Scout meeting. All she cares about is s'mores at this age. And for someone to come in and massacre children is so horrific that I understand people are very into the Second Amendment, but as a civilization, as a society, to live in a world where we could do something to potentially curb this. We won't ever eliminate the problem. There's always going to be sort of things like this, right? It's horrific. It's horrific to think that we wouldn't try to do something about this because these are children. And
I disagree when you say that most people have hesitation because of the Second Amendment. I think most people want to ban assault rifles because of that. It's so interesting.
How can you not?
Because you could have said that after Sandy Hook.
I agree.
And you could have said that after Columbine. You could have said that
after any number of things.
Right. There have been so many of these.
So then why the stasis? Why nothing after those?
It's because the NRA has enormous power. And the last thing I want to say is that everybody says, I never thought it would happen in my town. You always heard this over and over. Every time something happened in a small town.
This is Matthew McConaughey.
Right. But everybody says this after a shooting, in the town that it happens in. I never thought it would happen here. I think we're past that now. I think nobody says, I never thought it would happen here because I think everybody feels vulnerable. It's happening everywhere.
This is 80 miles from San Antonio, a giant city. This is not.
But it doesn't matter. It can be a small town. It can be a big town. It happens everywhere, and hundreds of them a year. Hundreds and hundreds a year. Mass shootings, and just the fact that people could always kind of push it off and say it's not going to happen in my town. It's not going to happen to me. I don't think people are saying that anymore.
One last point I want to make. I know we got to go, but just to play devil's advocate a little bit. The question I have is, let's just throw the hypothetical. You ban assault rifles, fine. If the next mass shooting happens where somebody rolls into a school with just a handgun and takes out, 10, 12, how many people they're able to take out, what happens then? What's the conversation then? Because assault rifles are banned at that point. What's the conversation then? Is it?
It's a totally fair point. Yes, and that is the worry of the NRA and the Second Amendment enthusiasts.
Just remember, the general nature of the conversation is.
32 people died with a handgun. Do you remember Virginia Tech? That guy shot everyone execution style with a handgun.
That's right.
It was not an assault rifle. It was 32 dead.
We're not going to have a completely safe America.
No, never.
If you ban assault rifles, that's just a fact.
Right.
And people are going to do terrible things like this because something's happened in our culture that allows this to happen.
Yeah.
But the reality is this: assault rifles can take out more people more quickly than a handgun can. And that sounds kind of ridiculous to say 12 is better than 19.
It's dark, but it's true.
We can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Right. So ready to address this in some way, you need to address.
That's a good way of ending. Have a good day, everybody.
All right, take care.
God damn it, would you stop doing that? Fucking A. Come on. Okay. Hold on. Try this again.
Hi, it's Steph from TMZ Verified for the podcast. I'd like.
Try this again.
For the following, which you are likely to find
5 biggest superstars who will never appear in a WWE game again. Up first, it's big match Brock Lesnar. Was approached by a
My friend Linda has you guys and gets way better coverage than I do.
Sounds like Linda has you beat.
Only in coverage.
And plans start at $20.
Okay, press 2.
Get your second month free when you switch to Consumer Cellular.
Swiffer Duster traps 4 times more dust for clean even mom approves of.
Better reach.
Making hard to reach.
So easy.
Swiffer. The mother of all cleans. Love it or your money back.
Viva la vita, la vida. Peroni Nastro Azzurri. Crisp, refreshing, and brewed with Italian style. Live every moment. Peroni Nastro Azzurri.
A toast to Tina's new business.
Oh, I thought it was a hobby. Essential oils are my thing.
Fill your potatoes? Oh, yes. Fill your eggs and pasta? Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Graduates, today you enter the real world, ready for whatever lies ahead, except for the following, which you are likely to find exceedingly difficult. Going to a 9-to-5 job, doing your taxes, putting on a duvet cover, taking off a duvet cover, realizing you're never going to go to the gym. This guy knows what I'm talking about. In summary, life is hard, but saving money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive is easy. Oh yeah, deciding what's for dinner every night for the rest of your life.
The Shaq-a-Roni's back at Papa John's with more pepperoni and over half a pound of cheese.
So many orders, we have to staff up.
I am here to work, people. Where's the garlic sauce?
Is he always here? He's everywhere. We're making you a Shaq-a-Roni for $12.99.
That's right. I live here.
A week ago, Zelina Vega won her first singles title of her career in WWE. Earlier tonight, Chelsea Green was demanding a rematch. Instead, General Manager Nick Aldis had other plans, and that is this test against Piper Niven. You see the dethroned United States champion, all in black, as she says her funeral leather breathing outfit, as Piper Niven has been dominating the newly minted United States Women's Champion.
This is one of the biggest physical mismatches possible in the women's division. And I thought Piper Niven was going to be home and dry, but a questionable shot to the thorax there from Niven stops the champ in her tracks.
And how about this from Vega? A big knee to Piper Niven.
Well, this has to be the answer to Vega. When you get the upper hand, you have to keep peppering your larger opponent with shots.
Oh, but then, just like that, Piper slams her down.
You're an Augie in the corner. What a difference setup. The wrecking ball of menace.
Press and right shoulder from Zelina Vega. That determination, that well, Chelsea is so annoying when we're trying to do our job.
I think we should have got Chelsea Green on commentary for this one. Honestly, that's a discussion for another day as we take another look at this angled senton crushing the midsection of Zelina Vega, who you start to question, is the ref going to need to step in here?
Zelina utilizing her speed, her quick reflexes, and now going up top, but she was able to get that kick on Piper Niven. A big right hand comes in from Niven. Niven, former WWE Tag Team Champion. With Chelsea Green, of course, 3 straight wins for Zelina Vega over Chelsea Green, the last of which she earned her way to get the title shot. And now 7 days into her reign, and she is being handled by Piper Niven. Well, the headbutt comes in from Vega.
Well, Vega, once again, it's just been short flurries of offense from the word go for Vega, but she's not giving up. Oh!
Vega hooks the leg. Down on Piper Niven.
And that was about the biggest hit that Zelina Vega has landed thus far. Take another look, PTO from the second row. It was a 2 count, but no more. And struggling, clearly in agony now. Oh, going for that.
Oh, she going for code red. That's how she won it a week ago. But instead, side slam Piper Niven into the press. Vega.
You just sense that with that code red against an opponent as powerful as Piper Niven, it may not actually be possible for Zelina Vega to hit that, but it's certainly possible.
Oh boy.
Niven to hit this.
Oh, looking for the cannonball, and at the last possible second, Vega gets out of the way.
Just about nimble enough. The more running bees in the corner, and it's Piper Niven who's groggy. Can Vega finally sustain some offense here?
You can still see Vega, though, reaching for her ribs. She has taken a lot of damage against Piper Niven here tonight.
Desperate times like this, Joe, you go on instincts.
Oh!
Instincts have not been serving Zelina well. She's been trying to match power for power against Niven, but this could be it, Joe.
If she can just piece together a few of these moments, looking for the moonsault and delivers for the win. And that left shoulder gets up the kick out by Piper Niven.
Well, now the fog is starting to clear in the mind of the champion. Getting back to a game plan of that hit and move kind of offense, capped off with this stunning moonsault. Wasn't quite enough.
Apology. I'm asking because this match is taking forever.
Confidence as this one wears on once again. It's not going to work.
No, not with the strength and size of Piper Niven. Instead, the headbutt comes in as Piper retakes control.
It's Piper Niven who looks like she's struggling to cling on. But one shot puts her back in control.
Looking for that powerbomb. Can she get her into position? As Vega is in trouble here. But Vega finds a way. Oh, we have a 619 opportunity. Well, what in the world with Chelsea Green up on the apron? Chelsea Green, frustrated, gets up on the apron, a Weaver being dethroned. Brother Val, Piper trying to come in. On the roll up. Oh, no. Look at this. What a win for Vega. What a win for Vega. Here is your winner, the Women's United States Champion, Zelina Vega!
4 weeks in a row, a colossal disaster for the Green regime. This time, it was a friendly fire incident. And somehow, Zelina Vega scurries out once again with the win. The underdog is undefeated at present.
2 weeks in a row, matches have been blown up and thrown out because of you getting yourself involved. And by the way, Jacob, champ, you're not exactly innocent in all of this either.
Hold on now. Don't pin the last week on us, okay? That was Damian Priest's fault. He's the one that caused the DQ. And as far as Jacob, he's telling everybody they better stay out of his way. That's a warning.
Well, warning received, which is why at Backlash, Jacob's going to defend that U.S. Championship against Damian Priest and LA Knight in a triple threat match. How's this?
Wait, hold on. How did that happen? Technically, Drew McIntyre won the match. He's the number one contender. If there's anybody that should fight Jacob, it's Drew.
You're right. No, you're absolutely right, son. Forget the triple threat match. Let's make it a fatal four-way match. We'll add Drew McIntyre to the match as well.
You know what? Let's keep it 100. No matter who you put in front of me, line them all up at Backlash. Because at the end of the day, I'm a dog walk that ass. See me? I'm all gas, no brakes free. Y'all know what I mean?
Yeah, what he said.
I see what you're trying to do. You trying to screw Jacob.
No, Solo. You are.
What did he say?
Nick Aldis has been a busy boy this evening, but we got ourselves a new main event tonight because WWE Women's Champ Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill are going to team up in tag action against Nia Jax and Naomi. That is later tonight on SmackDown.
And coming up next, it's the Fighter. A week ago, standing over John Cena. Another RKO. trying to claim it for good at
They're checking
Backlash.
the
We will
subscribers,
hear
I guess.
from Randy Orton joining us live right here from this massive crowd at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. Don't go anywhere. More Friday Night SmackDown coming your way.
Sort of. Specifically because of Borderlands, of all games. Yes, Borderlands 4, in case you missed it, got a big lengthy state of
We're only 8 days away from that epic encounter in St. Louis, WWE Backlash. Tickets are on sale now. Of course, Gunther and Pat McAfee, after Gunther's reaction to losing to Jey Uso and then attacking Michael Cole, and coming to his defense and choking out McAfee. You got Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Randy Orton and John Cena and Wade. What was just announced officially?
Oh, it's breaking because amidst the chaos of the past couple of weeks, GM Nick Aldis has found a potential solution because at Backlash, US champ Jacob Fatu will defend against the former champ LA Knight, the Punisher, Damian Priest, and the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre in a fatal four-way matchup that's at Backlash a week from tomorrow.
I have voices in my head, they come to me, they understand, they talk to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Viper, Randy Orton! It has been interesting to be along the recent ride of Randy Orton. He took great offense last week when John Cena said that at Backlash he would make sure that 3 generations of Orton's family legacy in the business would be erased from the history books.
When you fail, you will have no excuse. WWE Championship on the line.
That'll be streamed live on Peacock next Saturday. It's going to be a 7 Eastern start time on Saturday, May 10th. Hometown of St. Louis, the undisputed champion of the world. That iconic image of the Viper, the 14-time world champion, with John Cena just breaking the all-time record, sitting at 17. But Randy was quick to remind everybody recently, hey, 14 is not that far off. And now he's got the opportunity for the big one. In just 8 days, he said it right there. That belt, the undisputed championship. He's out to get it in 8 days.
I know we're 2 hours in Des Moines, but welcome to Friday Night SmackDown! John Cena. While the world couldn't see him, I could. It took about 20 years for all you to realize exactly what kind of man he is, but I knew from day one. He's arrogant, selfish,
Wait a minute. Isn't Portugal Cena usually first and then Cena sucks?
he is an entitled brat that gets whatever he wants. John Cena is the ultimate shiny new toy to be played with by the ultimate puppet master. John, I gotta hand it to you, man. You're smart. You took advantage of the PG era. Oh boy, did you ever take advantage of the PG era. You were willing and quite frankly eager to be a real life, walking, talking cartoon character. While I, on the other hand, did everything that I could to be true to who I am. He didn't care about the boys in the back. He didn't care about all of you. All that John cared about, all that he cares about is his bottom line, which has brought him fame. It has brought him fortune. It has brought him right into the mainstream. It has enabled John Cena to make sure that every single month he has a brand new colored t-shirt come out to the merch stands along with headband, hat, neckband, waistband, armband, wristband, jorts. I think there's sneakers, dog tags, and a little towel that says never give up. Anything he can squeeze his name onto, he's gonna put at the merch stand so that all you kids go and grab it up. He wants to make sure that you love him even more than you already do. But speaking of the kids, last week on SmackDown, John said the reason why he never had kids, the reason why he never raised a family himself was because he was busy raising all of your kids. John, the only thing that you have raised is the price of your merchandise, which the actual parents have to work a double and able to afford. You know, selling your soul isn't exactly a new concept, is it, John? You've been doing that for 20 years. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Am I right? I'll give him, listen, I'll give him the hustle. I'll give him the hustle all day. But the loyalty, the respect, what happened to the loyalty and the respect, John? Let me be clear why I'm asking specifically about the loyalty and the respect. Because last week, you stood in this ring, looked me dead in the eye, and you said you were going to erase the Orton name from the history books. You said, as you stood in this ring and looked me square in the eyes, that you were going to erase everything that my family did in this industry. And I'm going to tell you right now, you are not, and you will not, over my dead freaking body. You say that you are the last real champion. No, John. You are the latest legend that I have to put down. And I'm gonna do so a week from tomorrow, Saturday, Backlash, my hometown, in front of my wife, my family, my kids, my friends, in front of the future generation of Ortons, in front of the future Orton legacy. I'm going to kick you so hard in that Lego-shaped head.
God.
It's gonna fly right off your shoulders and through the gateway arch. But not before I drop your ass with the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. R.K.
Well, it doesn't get more pointed than that. From Randy Orton, sending the message to John Cena, the undisputed champion, that you're just the latest legend that I have to put down.
Eyes narrowed, veins bulging, skin turned a shade of puce. Yeah, good luck at Backlash, John Cena. You are going to need it against this version of Randy Orton. A week from tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, streaming live on Peacock. Undisputed WWE Championship on the line at Backlash.
Naomi, listen, you and I need to get on the same page. I'm going to forget what you said to me out there, but my eyes are set on gold and Two-Face Tippy. So as long as you figure out whatever you have to do with Jade and stay out of my way, we'll be good. Sure.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Because backstage was Ray Phoenix.
From Ecatepec, Mexico, weighing in at 182 pounds, Ray Phoenix! Ray Phoenix has built up such a past before arriving here to WWE. And the splash that he has made since arriving at SmackDown. And now he'll bring his full arsenal of offense right to Santos Escobar. That is next.
And if this match is going to take forever, I'm probably going to go to bed pretty soon.
On June 7th, Los Angeles hosts 2 epic events. WWE Worlds Collide featuring AAA Lucha Libre.
All gas, no brakes. Here we go.
And WWE Money in the Bank.
The opportunity of a lifetime.
Rise above the rest. WWE Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank in Los Angeles, June 7th. Combo tickets on sale now.
I mean, can you believe how good of an event that's going to be on Saturday, June 7th? Worlds collide at Kia Forum. Money in the Bank at Intuit Dome and individual event tickets are on sale this Wednesday, May 7th, via Ticketmaster. Resale starts this Tuesday, May 6th. Those are the individual tickets. That's going to be an outrageous day of action.
What's up, dog? What's up? You got no chance of backlash. My childhood hero, John Cena, is going to beat Randy Orton. Why would you say that? Because it's true. I said what I said, dog.
You know how you get down. I do. I got you. I'll talk to you. I know.
Mean what I said, dog. Stop.
Ooze, you keep on talking this? He gonna punch your head clean off your shoulders, Ooze.
Ooze, I'm not playing around. What John Cena told me that. You know what else he told me?
What he said?
He is the last real champ. He wouldn't lie to me.
You need to stop.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
giving up trying to make any sense whatsoever
You see
of
where
our
this is
truth.
going?
Jimmy, save yourself.
Yeah.
You can enter WWE's Dream Trip to Universal Orlando Resort sweepstakes for a chance to experience Universal Orlando Resort's 4 theme parks.
No, dude, seriously, do you see where this is going?
Jimmy Uso versus R-Truth?
Nah, dude. R-Truth making it, well, possibly, but before that, Truth is gonna come out there like and it's probably gonna happen during Randy Orton and John Cena. He's gonna come out there like he's trying to help Randy, and then like he's trying to help Randy, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's gonna nail Randy in the nuts, and because of him, John Cena's gonna retain. From there, probably the next Friday, there's gonna be a tag match, R-Truth and John Cena against Randy Orton and Jimmy Uso. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
R-Truth is about to make a heel turn.
Including the all-new Universal Epic Universe that opens May 22nd. Plus, a chance to meet a WWE superstar. Folks, go to WWE.com/universalsweeps.
That the act is getting old, and they haven't had anything for him for a while. So he's going to switch things
career.
up.
And then the night before WrestleMania,
Well, he is a
the opportunity
24 or
arrives.
57.
WrestleMania.
Well, whatever time he's champion.
Head up for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Phoenix eliminated Santos.
You know what I think would be cool? I don't know why they ever got rid of it.
Representing
To bring back the 24/7 shit.
from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 217 pounds, Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar, who has
The
been
last 24/7 it was
of Legado del Fantasma
Nikki
Garza
Cross.
and then hypercritical
Was
of
it
Ray
Nikki
Phoenix
Cross
for
or
his
was it
match against
Dana
El Grande Americano.
Nikki Cross.
And now in this position,
Initially, Santos Escobar seemed enthralled with the performances of Ray Phoenix. However, that loss to El Grande Americano at WrestleMania 41 has certainly soured the Emperor of Lucha Libre. On the newcomer to SmackDown, he decided it was a disgrace to the art form of Lucha that Ray Phoenix could lose to, in his words, a clown like that. And he blames Ray Phoenix for not jumping in with Legado del Fantasma and using Santos Escobar as a sort of mentor here on SmackDown for that loss. And now I guess it's going to be punishment time.
Yeah, saying basically, you're so right though in the early reception that Rey Fenix was given by Santos Escobar, almost as if he was trying to recruit him. He was fawning.
So
He was interested in everything he was doing.
And these two have a fair bit of history. They have competed together many times in North America, the entire continent, including mainly in AAA, the newly acquired Mexican company south of the border. So they have a healthy professional respect for one another, but they've certainly never been bros or anything like that. I think Santos Escobar's attempts to bring Rey Fenix into the fold has fallen on deaf ears. And now the Emperor of Lucha Libre is looking to teach him a lesson.
You mentioned the newly acquired AAA, and that is the focus of what we were just describing with what's happening on June 7th with Worlds Collide, NXT, and the newly acquired Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. That is going to be June 7th.
I should be the boss.
Money in the Bank is also that day.
Is that good?
Well, there's your response, Santos.
Santos suggested he should be the boss. You're not impressed, Rey Fenix. However, that might change your mind.
Back and forth, towing the line. Phoenix. Escobar, wow. Listen to that. Now, kiss to the heavens in testing each other.
Listen to
and
me,
that push
kid.
down Phoenix.
Listen to me. I should be the boss. You follow the orders, and we take over this place. Me and you. Together. Yeah.
Trying to convince Phoenix while throwing out punishment.
This has been anything but Lucha Libre so far. Just a slugfest.
Just pure brutality.
Oh, by the way, what is this new thing? I still don't get exactly what it is. What is this new thing that
now here
Eric
they go.
Bischoff and
And
Hulk
this is what we're
Hogan are
used
starting?
to from Phoenix, as Escobar says.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you right now,
Hey,
Joe,
that's
all of the
this here.
Luchadors in the locker room are so excited about the acquisition of AAA. They all see themselves as being the spearhead of this new global Lucha Libre. But if you want to be the spearhead, you got to start collecting some W's against the other Luchadors. That is why victory here tonight is so crucial for both of these men.
Escobar.
Logan launches the Real American Freestyle Wrestling League.
For a moment there when Phoenix was looking at
Freestyle wrestling.
springboard.
What is that?
That move is called, I'm going to call it a 916.
It's like his backstory.
The celebrated
you don't know.
luchador who has made such a splash.
No.
Heated conversations continue face to face between Phoenix and Escobar. As Phoenix was the late replacement for the then injured Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 41.
Santos Escobar is using this as a negotiation tactic against Rey Fenix. I think he's still convinced he can bring him into the Legado fold.
Lining up that target. Looking to go flying. And there goes Escobar. Through the air, out to the floor. Pinpoint accuracy. Target Rey Fenix.
Nobody in their right mind would live in a place like this unless they have something to hide.
Can stand up to the heat. Looks like ordinary antiperspirants can't take the heat. Ordinary antiperspirants can't fight sweat better than Secret Clinical. Try new Secret Clinical Strength Spray.
Santos Escobar has found a way to neutralize Rey Fenix. Joe and Wade with you here at Wells Fargo Arena from a massive crowd in Des Moines, Iowa. Here on Friday Night SmackDown, we're just 8 days away from WWE Backlash with Randy Orton and John Cena. Will meet up for the Undisputed Championship.
For a blistering start to Rey Fenix's career, he is being made to look completely ordinary by this performance from Santos Escobar. who has a point to prove this evening to the world of Lucha Libre.
This is nothing like the version of Rey Fenix we've seen in recent weeks. Well, it was a physical match right from the start. This is what happened during the break.
Yeah, it's been trash talk, and it has been pointed attacks to the bridge of the nose. And pretty much a full body workout for Rey Fenix, and I'd be shocked if Rey Fenix had got more than 3 shots in this
What the fuck?
entire bout. That's 4.
Oh, there it is.
Remember, Santos was so critical.
It must have just been something with the network.
Yeah.
Nothing where I did.
Phoenix telling Santos in not so many words, hey, you got a problem with how I handle my business in the ring? Why don't we meet up in the ring? And that is how this match was born.
Rey Fenix might be starting to regret that as he finally launches some form of offense. But can he start heading through those gears and getting to that top speed that we've all been blown away by over the past few weeks?
That is when he's at his best, just like this. Oh, how about a springboard moonsault, Rey Fenix? And a kick out of 2 change from Escobar.
Oh, well, that turned around in the blink of an eye. That tells you volumes about the durability of Rey Fenix, who I've written off.
Escobar thinking he got the best of it. No, watch out! Return fire from Phoenix. Hooks the leg, looking for the win.
All that trash talk by Santos Escobar must taste pretty bad right now for the Emperor of Lucha Libre. Did not capitalize on a massive advantage he had earlier on.
The celebrated Lucha Libre. Escobar saying that top roll should be mine. So many heated exchanges when they were face to face to open this match, and now the wear and tear deep into it. Escobar able to get out of the way.
Wait a minute. I think that they're trying to renew the old school of WCW.
And how about that from Phoenix?
Remember back in the
Finding
older,
a little something.
they're trying to reveal the third man of Hogan's new wrestling company.
Oh.
What a spectacular setting here in Des Moines, Iowa.
That's basically what it comes down to. You're making guesses because honestly you don't know.
To come with Tiffany Shrek, Jade Cargo, Nia Jackson, Naomi. But for now, it's Phoenix and Escobar.
What a
Well, you're the one who's rounded
of
up,
strikes
Michael.
that was by these two men. That sudden burst of adrenaline from Rey Fenix dropping Santos Escobar. Just when you thought it was game over for Phoenix, he's back in there.
Catches him, gets him up top. Escobar trying to fight his way off of that position as Rey Fenix, and he does into the corner.
Goes to show you the physical gifts of Rey Fenix at times neutralized here by Escobar's smart in-ring savvy, high IQ tactics, and deep bag of tricks.
Wait, I will tell you, Rey Fenix has eaten a couple of those huge knees tonight.
The level of respect that Santos has for Rey Fenix. You know you have to hit Phoenix with your best shots. Santos knows him as well as anyone.
He does indeed, and now Escobar trying to put things away right here.
It's about as vicious and calculating as I've seen Santos Escobar in a long time. Something has lit a fire under the Emperor of Lucha Libre. This man wants power. He wants control. And he wants to claim the body of Rey Fenix tonight here on SmackDown.
Back up top. Again, Phoenix fighting his way free and follows up with the drop kick. And now quick to the top rope, looking for adios amigos.
Connecting with the back of the head of Santos Escobar just when Escobar looked to be ducking out of the way.
Top rope Meteora. What impact by Rey Fenix. Here is your winner, Rey Fenix!
Well, that was a very different kind of victory from Rey Fenix than what we've seen from him thus far. But once again, it was the incredible athleticism of this newcomer luchador with this Springboard moonsault, first of all, that Santos Escobar was almost caught out with. But really, it was this top rope meteora to a kneeling opponent that did the damage. The flight of the Phoenix continues here on the Blue Brand.
You say a different kind of fight. Sometimes you just have to dig deep. You have to make it just a fight. He did that well.
I get it. And I know Naya. I know her strengths. I know her weaknesses.
Excuse me, Tiffany, Jade, I do apologize for interrupting, but in tonight's main event, the both of you are teaming up for the very first time. And you're also taking on two individuals who you've got some really deep-rooted issues with. How well do you think you guys are going to fare?
Listen, Byron, I get it. If I were Naya, I wouldn't be over me either. But eventually she's going to have to learn that this title belongs around my pretty little shoulders. And as for Jade, as long as she stays out of my way, we won't have a problem.
Or you stay out of mine. And anyway, I'll be focusing on Naomi, seeing how she didn't get enough of these hands at WrestleMania. But I spoke to Nick Aldis, and I'll be facing Nia Jax next week in a #1 contenders match for your title. So yeah, handle that.
That's funny, considering last week I almost had you beat. But that's fine. You can go ahead and you can beat Nia Jax. I'll just have to do it all over again. Toodles.
Toodles.
Two hastily thrown together tag teams who are clearly not on the same page as their partners. Good luck predicting the outcome of tonight's main event on SmackDown as Tiffany Stratton teams with Jade Cargill to take on Nia Jax and Naomi. That's coming up imminently.
And it's the TLC match that has set the standard. With a tip of the cap to so many.
The action. 14 brand new events. Tickets on sale now.
I think I might be foolproof.
Game on, Charlie Kale.
It's been a fun night from Des Moines. The 9th time that SmackDown has been here as we look through some of the results. Another big win for Fraxium against Pretty Deadly. Aleister Black with the black mask comes up with the victory against The Miz. Zelina Vega finding a way again with a win. And moments ago, we just saw Rey Fenix defeat Santos Escobar. Tables, platters, and chairs.
When I need you the most, do you understand what I'm saying? ¿Entiendes?
You just told us, yeah, Santos, tranquilo. What is your problem now? What's your problem? What you want? What you want? Okay, Santos. You know what? What? I know you don't care about the Garza. And my problem, I don't like you. I know you was talking about legacy, respect, honor. Mm-hmm. But the only you have is legacy. You don't have respect. You don't have honor. No. Okay. What do you have? You don't have. Huh? Let's go. Let's get out.
I said, let's go!
That after the loss to Rey Fenix with Santos Escobar. Hey, next week, John Cena makes his return to Dayton, Ohio. We will hear from him the night before Backlash with a defense against Randy Orton.
Speaking of Backlash, that's where LA Knight and Damian Priest will be opponents in a fatal four-way match for the US title. But the night before at SmackDown next week, in Dayton, Ohio. They've got to team up together as they go head-to-head against the vicious Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
And it is official for next week. They both want Tiffy's title. We'll get a one-on-one battle of the powerhouses. Jade Cargill against Nia Jax for the right to be the #1 contender. That is next Friday on SmackDown.
A storm is coming.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from their own Beach, Florida, Jade Cargill. Jade knows that one-on-one with Nia can wait a week because right now she has the chance to get hands on Naomi and continue to deal with those deep emotions. That is arrived with a tag team opportunity when we return to SmackDown here in Iowa. Good main event coming your way.
Raw, Monday, 8 Eastern, 5.
You saved a lot of lives.
Check out the Wednesday on NBC and Peacock.
You up for signs to the new wave?
Oh, yeah. Bring your best to Moines first SmackDown. I promise you, after tonight, it won't be the last RKO.
What's promised next week at Backlash?
Future world champ, we'll see about that. You're talking a big game. Let's check back in 20 years, kid. Birthday party ideas. No better place to spend your birthday than right here. Congratulations, we're at a big birthday party on SmackDown.
Jade Cargill, earlier tonight she saw Naomi out there and knew things wouldn't stay calm at all.
It's Tiffy time!
Little did we know we'd have a tag team main event that's developed into this. And her tag team partner from Prior Lake, Minnesota, she is the WWE Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton! And a happy birthday week to Tiffany Stratton. She has a lot to celebrate lately. Even more to deal with in the future. Retained the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. That was impressive against Charlotte Flair. But the longer this title run goes, the heavier things get, and Nia Jax's return to action proves that.
So you get past Charlotte Flair, you feel like it's going to be plain sailing. Immediately, Nia Jax comes after you, and your tag partner this evening, Jade Cargill, has even mentioned she wants it too.
No, they were in there a week ago together. Remember, 8 days away from Backlash, and Backlash is presented by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured? Go to forthepeople.com. Orton and Cena next week in St. Louis, May 10th. And their opponent, first from San Diego, California, Nia Jax! Nia Jax, whose recent title run was 153 days, and much of that time was spent with Tiffany Stratton by her side, and much of that time was spent with her shoulder at Tiffany Stratton, who on January 3rd, you can see that look she gives to her, Tiffany cashed in that Money in the Bank contract and took the championship from Jax.
Nia Jax, you mentioned it earlier, been suspiciously quiet in recent weeks, and that always unnerves me. We haven't seen nor heard from the former champ, but she chose the perfect time to reignite that pursuit of Stratton as the dust settled on WrestleMania 41.
So Naomi is Nia's partner, right? And plus their family. Why would you come in the ring together?
And her tag team partner from Orlando, Florida, Naomi!
All right, the personality change of Naomi is one thing, but the outfit upgrade right in top spot of the entire locker room, both men's and women's, for ring gear, entrance attire. Naomi is clearly the absolute pinnacle of that game.
Wow, the caution tape, every which way, proceed with caution, has been the mantra. She has not been shy about stating her words, but more than just the after-mania resolution with all things Jade and Bianca. She wants gold.
This is one warped personality that Naomi now possesses. The nice girl, as she says, is gone for good. 2025's Naomi is one highly volatile and unpredictable woman, but throwing fists with Jade Cargill right off the bat. We're at the most predictable thing you can imagine.
We're going to start off with a brawl. This is just the reason why we even have this tag team match in the first place.
And I think next Friday night is
just two separate fights.
Jake Platoon, Solo Sikoa versus Jamie Hayes and LA Knight. Yeah.
These two are the best of friends, side by side, and then the betrayal, and then the cash-in. And now the champion trying to beat down on Nia Jax, who came after her so hard last week as she made her return.
It feels like a four-way fight for survival at this point.
And then in the ring, what we saw at WrestleMania, Jade and Naomi.
I mean, were we ever expecting this to be a normal tag?
No.
All women kind of said to their own partners for the evening, stay out of my way, let me take care of my business.
Yeah, Naomi's saying, hey, Nia, you can have Tiffy all to yourself.
This is a tactic-free tag match. We're just going to see where this one goes. The four women in there apparently going to figure it out as they go along. Jay Cargill's doing a pretty damn good job of figuring things out thus far.
All those months on the shelf, out injured because of the actions of Naomi, was Jade, and she now delivers that hit right to the midsection. Jade comes back into the ring.
Well, Jade Cargill thought she was done and dusted after victory at WrestleMania 41, was ready to move on from this menace that is Naomi. But Naomi, who blames Cargill for breaking up her friendship with Bianca Belair, is certainly not done with the storm.
No, she is not. But you are absolutely right in your assessment of Jade Cargill and what her mindset was. She did not think that she would still be dealing with Naomi after what she thought was going to be the resolution that happened in Vegas. She came on our post show and she turned right to Big E and said it.
Well, you get it. Jade Cargill's done wonderful things in the tag world over the past 12 months, but now after that performance at WrestleMania, and indeed the performance against the world champ Stratton last week, she was ready to step her game up in the singles role and grab some gold.
Oh, there was the tag. The blind tag by Nia Jax, who comes right in.
And there is that element of inexperience still from Jade Cargill. As much as the physical presence is immense, she just doesn't have the ring savvy of Nia Jax, who is now in control.
Hi, I'm Premium Wireless for $15 a month at Mint Mobile. When I Premium Wireless for $15 a month, I think, why?
It's delicious. Or don't come back.
Martha, I'm just kidding.
Yes, Chef. New Monday on NBC and Peacock.
A week from now, Nia Jax and Jade Cargill will be one-on-one in a #1 contenders match. But right now, as you see that big forearm coming on Tiffany Stratton, there's so much emotion boiling over this tag team match. Tiffany and Jade against Nia Jax and Naomi. Look at the power, but then collapsing down into the cover. And Jade, but she gave it a shot.
Well, she got Nia Jax up there. That's the biggest part of the battle with the energy part of her. Jade Cargill is just too low after the beating she has received, and now the fresh and vicious Naomi back in there to punish her most hated rival.
Remember a week ago in the post-WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill were going at it. It ended in no contest when Naomi attacked Jade Cargill. That ended the match. And then came the stunning arrival of Nia Jax, who cleared house and beat down Tiffany Stratton.
And perhaps at long last, a little daylight for Jade Cargill to try and claw her way over for a tag to the WWE Women's Champ, Tiffany Stratton, who has not legally been in this match at all thus far.
It has been all Jade taking punishment, and look at this as Nia tries to pull her back. Jade gets free, and it is Tiffy time here in Des Moines.
The sight that Nia Jax did not want to see.
Tiffany Stratton, that big knee.
Nia Jax has just met the center of the universe, which for one night only is Des Moines, Iowa.
The WWE Women's Champion has something to deliver. How about this? Crucifix pin attempt. So close was Tiffany.
Tiffany knows it too. It's rare you get the opportunity to take down Nia Jax. And to get this close, brilliant technique there from Stratton, who turned a potential Samoan drop into an offensive pin.
There you go. Right there.
It was a split second away from victory, and now she really has to drop
I think
that.
tomorrow I might have some Mountain Dew, but tonight I don't want to get myself into trouble.
But in position for what could be. Oh, and Nia quick to her feet and brings the headbutt. And now Nia, there is the Samoan drop.
A little extra stank on that one for Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, and the leg drop. And Nia said, what in the world? That was a blind tag. And there's the fact that they are not tag team teammates. And you can see her ordering her out. She was in position to close this.
Well, that could have been game over there, but clearly both women looking to get the dub for themselves.
Oh, split leg moonsault goes wrong. Tiffany gets the knees up.
Well, what an error that may well turn out to be for the team of Naomi and Nia Jax. And Nia Jax is just fuming on the apron.
Getting those knees up may have just saved the day as a fired up Jade Cargill comes in against her chief rival, Naomi.
Superhero-like powers of recovery. About 2 minutes ago, Jade Cargill looked completely washed.
Now she is, getting the best of her way.
Totally refreshed, back on top, on a mission to be the number one woman in this industry.
And slamming into that corner.
We're going to take care of business with Naomi.
Here we go, choke slam.
Naomi begging for mercy, but instead choke slam into the cover for the win, and Nia Jax comes in to break that up. And now dragging her partner back into the corner. Remember what happened moments ago when Naomi tagged herself in? Well, guess who's back? The running elbow drop, the senton on Jade. This thing could be over, but Tiffany's going up top. Oh, swanton to break it up. And Tiffany may have done damage to herself.
Well, what an insane breakup that was by Tiffany Stratton. And again, this one is completely broken down. Referee losing control. And who can blame him with these four giant personalities in that ring?
Tiffany and Naomi. Oh, and squashing both of them in the corner is Nia Jax, and pushing them both out of the ring.
Yeah, I'd say the tag team of Nia Jax and Naomi is officially over, but this match is ongoing as Jax closes in on what looks to be an imminent victory.
And now Nia Jax is putting Jade Cargill in position.
It's squashing time, Joe. No, it's not.
Oh, Jade! Look at Jade! Could she possibly She's got Jax up on her shoulders. Jade Cargill. Yes.
Oh, look at
Here
that.
are our winners.
It's
The
over already.
WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill.
Well, assuming this is over,
One of the greatest physical specimens in the history of our industry used that physique to full effect there. An epic powerbomb on Nia Jax, grabbing the victory for this strange team of Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. And that perhaps explains the tension between these two former now teammates.
What tension? How about the champion saying, "That's mine"?
It's yours for now, Tiffany.
Positioning for the women's championship is becoming a bit of a demolition derby. Oh, and Naomi is back in the ring.
oh damn,
And attacks from behind.
that was cool. 'Cause I didn't even
Women
see
were
that coming.
distracted by that glittering championship. Never take your eyes off that caution tape.
Listen, it's going to be Nia and Jade for the #1 spot a week from now. But it's Naomi. Proceed with caution. Holding that WWE Women's Championship at the end of this night. What a night from here in Des Moines, Iowa. We're only 8 days away from
it is over.
Backlash.
Okay.
Ford and
We're
Cena.
done.
And
One
Cena
more
will be on
time.
SmackDown
Christy
next
Cole,
week.
Amanda Mackenzie, Noah Caitlin. Good night. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for being with us. And we'll see you a week from now.
Previously on Resident Alien.
Well, no, let me take that back. Hopefully, we will see you tomorrow night for Collision. If not tomorrow, we'll see you next Friday for next week's SmackDown. For John Patrick, I'm Michael Paul.